Yeah! Good to see you guys. Good to see you all excited and ready. It's good to see you too. Hello and welcome to Penguin Live, where you have the best seat in the house for the best magic in the world. I'm your host, Dan Harlan, and you know you are in for a treat. The gentleman we have with us is back for his second appearance. So everybody out there and everybody here has their coins all ready to learn more amazing coin magic. Now, he has performed and lectured all over the world, and he's been featured as a close-up performer and lecturer at the Magic Castle. And many of the famous coin magicians of the modern era got their start by studying his coin magic videos, and he's been on a ton of them, going all the way back to the origin of instructional videos with, I believe it was the Videonics. He was one of the first guys ever, if not the first guy, to ever teach original magic on video. And then he's gone all the way through to some of the biggest projects. In fact, the biggest collection of coin magic ever produced on DVD features a lot of his work. That's the New York Coin Magic Seminar DVD. And if you haven't seen it, I don't know if it's still available, but you got to check that out. Now, what we're going to do is start out this lecture by showing you a full performance that he did for us last night. So take a look at this performance by our guest, Mrpl Rubinstein. You guys get a chance to enjoy our next performer, who is the headliner for the show. This guy has come all the way from New York City to entertain you. He has appeared here before, but not for our particular show, but he's been in a few, maybe about a year and a half ago, to entertain magicians. He will also be here to entertain magicians again tomorrow night, which is our closed set. That's when we have the magicians come in and he teaches some of the stuff that he does. And he is, thanks, Nick. Yeah, good. All right, fantastic. He is world famous for the work that he's done with coin magic. As a matter of fact, he's revolutionized coin magic as we know it. So you're in for an amazing treat. We're all set?
Almost.
We're going to need a couple of people up here?
Yeah, if you don't
mind.
mind.
I don't mind. I don't mind. How about this gentleman here? Yep. What's your name?
Peter.
Peter, you want to come over here and have this seat right there? And then, let's see, we need a young lady from this side. Hi, what's your name? Courtney, come on up. Let's give Courtney a big round of applause. She comes over here. Courtney, you can have a seat right over here. Hi. Oh, don't worry. It's going to be super fun.
Oh, I'm excited.
All right, good. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the amazing magic, the digital dexterity of Mrpl Rubinstein.
Hi. How you all doing? It is so great to be here tonight. I am so excited to be here tonight because tonight I get to present a classic of coin magic. And I get to do so with two amazing assistants. On my right I have
Courtney.
Courtney, really? That's my wife's name. Hi.
Hi.
And on my left I have
Peter.
Peter, really? That's my wife's name. Hi. So the trick that I'm going to do for you guys tonight has been around for a long, long time. In fact, I've been able to trace this trick all the way back to Jesus, Montero at Belleville, New Jersey. And it is said that after he performed this trick, he was burned at the stake. House where he was eating, the plate was too hot. So a classic of coin magic, and for this, I just need to borrow from you guys 4 1968 silver half dollars. You guys have? See, I had the 4 half dollars, but I exchanged them for 200 pennies. I knew I shouldn't have, but at the time, it made a lot of sense. But hey, no problem. Magicians always have coins hanging around. You just got to know how to find them. Now, the first coin is easy to find. You see, whenever magicians perform, they wear their hearts on their sleeves. But I'm a little different. When I perform, I wear a coin on my sleeves. And there's the first coin. Of course, I just told everybody that magicians really do use their sleeves. Secret's out. But I bet my friend that I could find the second coin without using my sleeves. He told me to put my money where my mouth is. So I did. And there's the second coin. Hope this coin's feeling better, though, because before it was feeling a bit down in the mouth. Hey, I don't go for the laugh. I go for the groan. The bigger, the better. That's why I only work for grown-ups. Now, the third coin's around here somewhere. Let me see. Oh, wait, don't move, because I see it right over here in your ear. And there's the third coin. Now, be honest. That was a little bit eerie, wasn't it? Oh, I know. But hey, this is a celebrity coin. It is. No, in fact, this coin was just named Coin of the Year. Hey. And hey, look, now it's got a great wax shine. But that's the third coin. The fourth coin I keep in a place that's certainly nothing to sneeze at. because I got it right over here in my nose. Now, how long has that been in there? Who knows? But I could breathe better now. That's because I used the decongestant. Now, probably not the best time to say this after pulling that out of my nose, but hey, feel free to check them out. Make sure there are no trapdoors, secret assistants, pieces of chocolate. That's great. That's amazing. This is like an episode of CSI, Coin Scrutiny Investigation. But we're going to use these coins to do something that I call the impossible 4-coin trick. And I call it that for 2 reasons. For one thing, it uses 4 coins. But I'm going to do this for you guys 4 times. The first time I do this trick, you're going to be surprised. The second time I do this trick, you're going to be bewildered. The third time I do this trick, you're going to be amazed. But the fourth time I do this trick, you're going to say that it's impossible. Now, would you be surprised to know that if I shake my hand just like this, the first coin vanishes? Well, it really doesn't vanish. It just travels over to here. Now, that's the first coin. And a bit of a surprise, right? I know, I got goosebumps. But what's more than a surprise, what's bewildering, is that if I close both hands and I give them a shake, the second coin travels across, just like that. Now, it's bewildering because the coin starts here and it travels all the way over here, but you can't see the coin go. That's because it goes by magic. But if you listen very carefully, even if you can't see it go, what's amazing is that you could hear it arrive. Watch, there it goes. Listen. You hear that? And the third coin goes right across. Thank you. Now, so far, you've been surprised, perhaps bewildered, and maybe even amazed. But that's not the name of this trick. Oh, no. I call this the impossible 4-coin trick, and I call it that for a reason. How many coins, Peter, are on the table?
1.
And Courtney, how many coins do you see in my hand?
3.
I'd like you to give me your right hand palm up. I'm going to give you my 3 coins to hold. I want you to close your hand over them and turn your hand palm down, holding them really tight, as if Peter's life hung in the balance, okay? I think we can trust her. Close your hand over the coins, turn your hand palm down. Perfect. I think you're okay. I'm going to take this coin and hold it in my hand as if my life hung in the balance, which it kind of does, because if this trick doesn't work, I'm going to die on stage. Now, do me a favor. Hold your hand up just a little bit higher. Perfect. Remember, you have 3, and I have 1. Now, try not to blink, because we all know that the hand can always fool the eye, sometimes the nose, and occasionally even the mouth. But it never, ever can fool the eyes of an entire audience who have been burning my hand like a laser beam since we started this trick, which is why, under test conditions, it would be impossible for my coin to vanish.
Oh, no.
Courtney, do you remember how many coins I placed into your hand?
3.
I'd like you to place them on the table one at a time, and Peter, you count for her as she does so.
1.
Oh, no.
I can't count that. It's not on the table. 2. 3.
And the one on the floor?
4.
The impossible 4-coin trick. Thank you. Yeah. And we are just getting started. You guys want to see a mystery?
Yes.
An honest-to-goodness mystery? I'm going to show you a mystery with a purse and a glass. Now, the purse contains coins in it, while the glass is empty. Let me show you what I have in the purse. I have 6 coins. It may be hard to see, but 3 are copper and 3 are silver. Check them out. Check them out. Okay. Put them back. Put them back. Okay, so 3 copper and 3 silver. That's copper, silver, copper, silver, copper, silver, a purse, and a glass. Now, the reason I use the glass is so that you won't miss anything amazing that happens during the course of this routine. Because I will tell you right now, every single time that I put coins into that glass, something amazing is going to happen. I know this because I've done the trick before. But hey, don't take my word for it. It's going to look like this. Take some coins, drop them in the glass, something amazing is going to happen. But it only works for the coins in the glass. It never works for the coins in the purse. Now, I can take some coins. I can put them inside. You can hear them inside, but that's not amazing. Put coins in the glass, though, and miracles happen. So once again, I have 3 silver coins, 3 copper coins, a purse, and a glass, and a little bit of magic, which looks something like this. 1 silver coin goes into the hand. 2 go into the glass. Now, that's the signal for something amazing to happen. And sure enough, with a little wave, that silver coin changes, becoming a copper coin. Now, that's the copper coin that's come out of the purse. While the silver coin's gone into the purse, you see the coins are changing places. Let me do that again for you. I'll take the second silver coin and hold that in the hand. 1 goes into the glass. Now, that's the signal for something amazing to happen. And sure enough, with a little wave, that second coin changes, becoming a copper coin. Once again, that's the copper coin that's come out of the purse, while the silver coin has gone into the purse. The coins are changing places. We'll do that one last time with the silver coin for the guys in the back row. These 2 go into the glass. Remember, that's the signal for something amazing to happen. And sure enough, a little wave, that coin changes, becoming a copper coin, which now leaves me 3 copper coins in the glass. While in the purse, we have 3 silver coins. Thank you. Thank you. You know, I just flew out of here from New York, and New York is crazy now. I don't know if you guys have ever been, but Times Square especially, it's really nuts. I mean, you got guys dressed up as superheroes and half-naked ladies who are posing for pictures with tourists. You got a guy on the street corner giving out tickets to a sex show. You got a cop on the opposite corner giving out tickets to the guys who are going to the sex show. Yeah, and everybody's working for tips. There was this one guy just last week, I saw him, he was dressed up as an iceberg. Now, personally, I thought the iceberg was a Titanic mistake. I did. But the guy walked into a bar, and the bartender was so impressed by his costume that he gave him a couple of drinks for free. Nevertheless, that iceberg left $10 on the bar. And that was just the tip of the iceberg. Oh, yeah. And then you got the theater district, and I walked into a bar, and I saw sitting at a table, there were 4 flying monkeys from the show Wicked, and they were sitting next to 3 camels from the show Aladdin. At the bar were 7 lions, 3 tigers, and 2 antelopes from The Lion King. So I walked out. My friend said, "Why did you leave?" I said, "It's a zoo in there." Oh, yeah, it was crazy. And then further up, you got the grifters, the cheats. So, you walk a little bit further, and you see a guy playing the 3-shell game. Next to him is a guy playing 3-card monte. Next to him is a guy playing 3-card monte hall. That's where you could have what's under the card or what's behind door number 2. Joke more from my generation, perhaps. And then you got another guy, and he had a table like this, and he had 4 coins, and he had 2 cards. And I said, "What kind of game is this? Is this 3-card monte?" He said, No, this is a new game called 2-coin monte. I said, "But you got 4 coins on the table." He said, I know, but I don't need all 4. So I'm going to cover this one with the ace of hearts. I'm going to cover this one with the ace of spades. You just have to guess where these 2 are for $10. I said, "They're right there. Do I win?" He said, No, you don't get me. I said, "I don't want you." He said, "No, you see, the way the game works is I'm going to place the coin in my hand. You just have to tell me if you think the coin's in the hand or if you think the coin's under the card. Simple game, simple rules." So I said, "Okay, I'll play." So he took the first coin, placed it into his hand, and said, "Where do you think it is?" I said, "I think it's in your hand." He said, No. You see, you weren't watching, and when you weren't watching, I snuck it under the card, and I lost $10. Well, I said, "I want to play again." So he said, "Sure." So he took the second coin, placed it into his hand, and said, "Where do you think it is?" I said, "I think it's in your hand." He said, No. You see, you weren't watching, and when you weren't watching, I snuck it right under the card. Well, I was pretty frustrated. And I said, "I want to play again." He goes, "Well, sure, but you see, I got one more coin, and this is a $20 coin, so if you want to play with this, it's going to cost you a little bit more." I said, "Not only do I want to bet on the hand, but I'm going to bet $20 not only on the hand, but on the card," thinking I'd be clever. He said, "Well, you see, you lost here, but you shouldn't have bet on the card because there's only one coin there. The card's never left their position." So I paid him the money, walked away, and I never saw him again. Thank you. Now, you'll notice that I'm not doing any card tricks. I really can't do card tricks. I tried once, I did. I made a prediction of a card, and I asked somebody to think of a card. He said Visa. I had predicted MasterCard. So close. But it was okay, because at the end we both got a charge out of it. But, it's Tuesday night. I'm feeling good. You guys are a good crowd. You want to try a card trick? Should we try one? All right. We'll try a card trick. This is going to be really weird, but I'll give it a shot. When I riffle through the cards, I just want you to say stop. Got to do it before I finish.
Stop.
Okay. Take this card, show it to everybody, but don't show it to me. Okay, everyone see it? Okay, great. I want you to place it back in the deck anywhere you like. Ooh, a stealth position. I like that. That's good. Okay, Peter, I want you to cut the cards in half and complete the cut. And I'm feeling really good. Let's do that again. Cut them one more time. Complete the cut. That makes you a cut above the others. Okay, now at this point, most magicians that maybe you've seen here will do some incredible sleight of hand, some cuts, shuffles, flourishes, and they'll do an amazing revelation to find your card. Not me. Oh, no. See, I learned my magic on the island of Haiti, and there they don't do just simple sleight of hand to find cards. They'll find your card by using voodoo. Oh, yeah. And I have some things that were given to me here by the high voodoo priestess, and after a couple of tokes, she certainly was. So in here, let's take a look and see what I have. I have some strange and wondrous objects. This is the chalice of the high voodoo priestess. And inside are some old copper ceremonial coins. Let's take a look at them. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 old copper coins. Now these coins have been used for countless sacrifices, weddings, bar mitzvahs, all sorts of rites, and even a few lefts. But we're going to need one of these coins to be the leader coin, and in order to figure that out, I've got some stickers here with different colors. Each color represents a force of nature. So we have blue for the sky, yellow for the power of the mighty sun, green for nature, or the color of the lunch that's sitting on my counter back in New York. It was a salad. and finally we have red for, I don't know, red. Peter, I'd like you to choose one of these colors. The color that you choose is the color that we're going to use. Which one would you like? Green. That's amazing because that's exactly the color I would have chosen had I not chosen one of the other 3. So we're going to use the green sticker. We're just going to place it on one of these coins, which makes this coin very powerful, more powerful than any of the other coins. But to fully harness its power, we're going to isolate it under the chalice of the high voodoo priestess. Now the other coins are important too, but we have to make them magic. So what I'm going to do is take this one, just wave it over the chalice. When I do something very, very strange happens. The green sticker that you chose imparts itself to the coin just by waving it over the chalice. I'll do it with this one as well. Just going to wave that over the chalice, thinking of your sticker. And the green sticker that you chose imparts itself to the coin just like that, just by waving it over the sticker. And I'll do it with the last one, waving it over the chalice, thinking about your sticker. And certainly the green sticker imparts itself to the coin just like that, just by waving it over the sticker. But now, we've made all this magical, but we haven't yet found the card. That's because now it's time to do the voodoo that you do. So what I want you to do is just take the cards and wave them over the chalice and ask for a sign.
Just wave them over.
Just wave them over. What sign did you think of? Stop, one-way deer crossing? Ever wonder how the deer always know to cross at that sign? That's a mystery to me. You know, I actually once performed for deer. I did. I performed at a stag party for $10. Think about it. But actually, I think our prayers have been answered, because if we take a look into the chalice, something very amazing has happened. The first coin, the green sticker that you chose, has vanished, but in its place is a word. What does that say?
You.
You. The second coin, the sticker has vanished, but in its place is a word. What does that say?
Chose.
You chose. The third coin, the sticker has vanished, but in its place is a word.
The.
You chose the, a cryptic message. But there is yet one coin still under the chalice, the leader coin, and I got it right over here. Now what I want you to do is concentrate on your card. Concentrate on the color, the shape, the size, the form. You're concentrating? Maybe the voodoo gods will help us, because here we go, watch. Was it the 8 of Hearts?
Wow.
Thank you. Now, the great thing here is that we've been able to identify the card, but we still haven't found the card. Now, you remember that every time we wave something over the chalice, the green sticker imparted itself to the coins, right? You wave the cards over the chalice. Wouldn't it be amazing and perhaps even a miracle if that green sticker found your card? Let's take a look. I'm going to go through the cards. Okay, and look at that. There's one card here with a green sticker. The 8 of Hearts. Thank you. You know, I was practicing this one night, and my wife saw all this, and she said I better clean up my act. But actually, I do ask my family for advice on my tricks, and I was talking to my son, and he likes my magic, he does, but he told me that I need to make my magic look more youthful. So I thought about my own youth growing up in a poor and depressed area of the Bronx, New York. Now, I'm not talking about the South Bronx. I'm not talking about Fort Apache either. Oh, no. I'm talking about Riverdale. Yeah, worst upper middle class Jewish neighborhood you've ever seen. I mean, this neighborhood is so bad that once some guy walked into a bar and he got himself a shot. Oh yeah, it's bad. And forget about shopping in Riverdale, it's so dangerous. You walk into any supermarket in Riverdale and all the cashiers are packing. Oh, it's terrible, it's terrible. And the school systems are terrible. Every single day at my Hebrew school, there was a kidnapping. Oh yeah, bad place, bad place. But you know, the kids didn't seem to mind the violence so much because they knew that every single time somebody got arrested, it meant the new parking space opened up. But you know, I was a bad kid. I was. I hung out with the homeboys of Riverdale, the gangsters. Hung out with my homeboys Seymour and Isidore. Oh, and we were bad. We were bad. Oh yeah, they called me Big Ruby. they called Isidore, Izzy the Kid. And Seymour, they called Seymour. Oh yeah, and we would stand around and talk about getting rich. Goldstein from down the block. And together, we'd stay out till all hours of the night. Once, we even stayed out until 8 p.m. Oh yeah, we were bad. And we would stand on the street corner and watch the gangsters going through the hood as they went to and from the synagogue. And we would rap, because back then, we was rappers. Oh, and we were bad. I mean, we were terrible. We just couldn't do it for anything. But actually, to this day, I still can rap. You guys want to hear me bust a rhyme? Yeah? All right. Well, normally, Ruby don't sing without the bling. But I happen to have with me a small token of my youth. Let's see if I have it right here. Well, not so small. This thing comes with a little bit of gold and a lot of guilt. When my wife sees me wear this, she says it's the cross she has to bear. But I think she likes it so much, I'm getting her one for her birthday. But when I wear this, I can rap. But I'm a rapper with arthritis. My knees are nearly shot. I put on 20 pounds and now my body's gone to pot. My friends, they call me Ruby. My clients, Dr. R. You'll find me doing magic at the home or in the bar, where I'll be funning with the homeboys, showing coin tricks to my peeps. But they're not always watching. They're too busy sending tweets. But now I'm going to do a little magic just for you. It's a thing I do with coins because it's what I like to do. Money, money, money. Hey, there's money everywhere. You get it from your paycheck. Well, I pluck it from the air. I get money from my elbow. I get money from my knee. I'm like a friggin' ATM, but I don't pay a fee. My friend, he wanted money, so I did my little trick. But he said I was being cheap, and he called me a... Ooh, money, money, money. It's the halves I love the most. But when they come out of my nose, you know, it's really kind of gross. I need money for my homeboys. I need money for my hoes. Oh, yeah. They're on sale with all the shovels at the local Home Depot. I got money from my armpit. This one's looking mint. It doesn't smell because I used a good deodorant. I need money for a sandwich. A nice corned beef on rye. But now I'm getting hungry. Oh, yeah. So it's time to say goodbye. Thank you very much, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here.
Now, if you saw his first lecture, you learned a lot of great stuff in that. He's got all new things in this lecture, including a few of the pieces that he performed in that show. So let's please welcome the gentleman himself. It's Michael Rubenstein. Hey, Michael.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
Good.
Great to have you here.
Great to be here. Hi. I'm so glad you were able to come tonight. Tonight we're going to do a lot of coin magic. The last lecture I did, I tried to be a little bit more toward intermediate and beginners. I tried to stay away from things like classic palm. I'm not holding back tonight. So tonight you guys are going to get the good stuff. But I've had a great time here in Columbus already. I have. I mean, today it was a little windy, but we went out to the Columbus Stadium to see the baseball team. Even though it was windy, the game was a blowout. But oh yeah, and you know, it was funny because I guess they thought there was going to be rain. They had all the bases covered in plastic for some reason. I guess they wanted to just cover their bases in case it rained. I understand they wanted to put a dome stadium up, but the people on the committee, the women especially, they voted to go topless, so no dome stadium for you guys. and it was a good game. The star player went 0 for 4, though. I think because before the game he 0 for 8. But I understand Penguin is renting out the stadium for their next convention, and they're going to hold it in the main ballroom. But so, oh yeah, they go down and they keep going. But that's my shtick. That's what I do. And that's part of me. And that's what I try to do in my show. I like to do a lot of puns. And the audience gets into the idea that they're puns. They're not like really big jokes. And once they realize what they are, some people call them groaners. You know, I get the laughs, the groans, and people enjoy themselves. And that's what I try to convey in my magic. I just want people to have a good time. I found that when you do magic, if you just do a trick, you know, people are more concentrating on how you're doing the trick. But if you make them laugh and relax, they're enjoying it so much more. They really feel that it's entertainment. And that's what I tried to do in my show that you saw on the screen. That's the show that I performed at the Magic Castle. So I start out with a lot of groaners, and the audience really gets it, and then they see who I am, and that really makes the show. So we're going to teach a few of the tricks from that show. We're going to teach the opening trick and the closing trick. The opening trick is what I call the impossible 4-coin trick, and it starts with a 4-coin production. I've always felt if you're going to start with coins, you might as well make them appear from nowhere. So the things that we need for the 2 tricks I'm going to teach in the beginning and then the trick that ended the show is you're going to need 5 half dollars, and you're going to need some sort of really gross, big piece of bling. This fits me. So this you can buy on Amazon. You can get anything on Amazon. It's amazing. So I keep this giant Jewish star in my pocket. You can use a giant cross or whatever you want. The more bling, the better, I think. But the coins, you're going to use 5 coins to start, and you're only going to show 4 of them. And this is what makes this really cool. Now, the concealment that we use to start off is a concealment that not many people know. It's been around forever, but not many people know it. And it's not that easy. It's more of a knack type of concealment. I call it angle palm. And it's this. And we'll get into the actual mechanics. So my hand can look pretty natural. My hand looks very open. It doesn't have the bend that you would have for a classic palm. Your hand looks pretty open. The thumb's in a natural position. The only bad angle would be over here. So when I come into the show, I start with my hand down like this. This way the hand looks okay. And then maybe I should just go over angle palm first. And I want to talk a little bit about its origins. I came up with this position when I was like 15 years old. So I guess that was like in the 71, somewhere around there. And I tried to publish it in the Society of American Magicians magazine, and I got a letter back from Ed Michel, who was the editor at the time, who said, thanks, but it's really too difficult for our audience. And then he said he does a similar palm, which he calls the Michel palm. So that was the first time I had actually heard that somebody else had used it. And then, over the years, I did more and more stuff. And in 1982, I came out with this great book called Intermediate and Advanced Coin Technique. It's the best coin book that nobody's ever seen. Published by Magic Methods, Jerry Menser. It came out like a month before Coin Magic from Richard Kaufman. So if I had been in New York at the time, I lived in Italy, I missed it by that much. But I had it in there, and a month before my book came out, another book came out by a guy named Lamont Ream, and he had the exact same position, and he called it the Lamont grip. So it seemed like a lot of people were coming up with this position independently. And I later was able to trace it back to a 1942 publication by Jack Shannon called Handle with Gloves. And he called it the JC palm. Some people called it the Shannon grip. And so I was starting to think maybe he should get credit for this. But then I started to think everybody independently came up with this position. Nobody knew that other people had done it before. And you could be sure that if it was out in 1942, it was out way before that, as many of our things, from the 18th, 19th century in Europe, they were probably using it. It's an obvious position, so I think it's been around for a long time. So the name angle palm for me was a catch-all name, just to not take credit away from any of the other people who independently came up with it. But the earliest that I could find was Jack Shannon. In any case, so let's talk about how to get into the position. You can use it with 1 coin, you can use it with several coins. So we're going to start with the 5 coins, and we'll explain it. So you hold the 5 coins with your thumb and your second finger right about the end of the center of the phalange there. I put my other fingers on the coin, and then I put my middle finger underneath. So I'm holding them like this. Now the fingers bend in, and the thumb comes over to get the coins, and the coins get pressed into that position. And they're held just like this. Now, I actually, in 1983, I think, I put a move called the Bronx Take into Apocalypse, and Harry Lorraine, accidentally not understanding the write-up, wrote the description up where the coins went into a frickle palm position, which is this. That's not the move, okay? The coins are actually in this position. Another person who came up with this independently, Frank Drobina in Bobo. He has this with dimes. So again, a common position. With 1 coin, you can come over, and there's a lot we can do with it. But in this case, I've got 5 coins, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, you can take coins secretly out of your pocket and silently load them. So if you put your hands in your pocket, you can just get the coins in. You can palm them and nobody hears anything. It's much easier than trying to palm several coins into classic palm. So it's a really nice concealment. So I come out with the coins in angle palm. And the jokes are, we need to find some coins. And I start out by doing a few things to show my hands empty. I say, I'm really excited because I'm going to do a classic of coin magic. And this just shows my hands open. And then I point to the performers I have. On my right I have, so my hand looks open. And on my left I have here. And then I fold my hands like this. The coins are in a nice position. They could stay there forever. That's very, very comfortable. The coins are right here. Okay, and I just keep my hands like that. So folded, my hands look very, very natural. And yet I've got 5 coins palmed. Okay, so now we get to the beginning of the trick. I've got to produce the coins. So as I put my hand down here, I use my third finger and I grab one of the coins and I just let it fall out to the base of my fingers. Okay? As I do that, I'm talking, and then I just come over to my sleeve and produce the first coin. Now, I do what's kind of like a shuttle pass to put the coin down. So I'm going to exchange this coin for one of the coins here. But I have to be careful because I don't want to show this open area. So as I show the coin here, the third finger just grabs the second coin, comes down, and I turn my hand over, but I turn it over not like a shuttle pass, but I come over here so they can't see the coins. And then I just put it down. It's a casual move and I'm talking, so I just do this, put the coin down. So it looks like I've just taken that coin and put it down. The second coin, now which is in my right hand, I now produce from my mouth. So I just reach up, put my thumb on the back of the coin, and pull it out of my mouth. And that gets a look of surprise. And then, of course, I make the joke, this coin's looking a bit down in the mouth. So they start laughing. And at this point, I start saying, well, I don't go for the laugh, I go for the groan. So now they're starting to get, oh, he's going to be given a lot of bad jokes. And they really get into it. So I put this down. Now, I don't keep these coins here because I don't need to. And I think that sometimes when you're moving coins around with a lot of coins, sometimes they might slightly move out of position. So I don't want to risk them falling out of position. So I just let them all fall to finger palm. They're very safe there. And I've already established that my hands were empty. The third coin I produced from the person's ear. And I made some jokes about that. So I just kind of slide the coin from finger palm to the tips of my finger as they come from behind their ear and point to the coin. I make a few jokes, this was very eerie, it's coin of the year. And then I just put it down here, and as I do that, I put my thumb on the coin in the finger palm and just push it off a little bit. And I'm going to hold that coin on top between my thumb and my first finger. That coin's going to stay there. The coin underneath is going to drop as I go up to my nose. So I go up to my nose, just wiggle, and let the other coin drop out, and show that coin. Make a couple of jokes and say, how long has it been in there? Who knows? Etc. So now, I produced 4 coins, but I still have a 5th one. I now pretend to take this coin, and I do a really nice retention where under the cover of my hand, I actually will extend the second finger and put my finger on the coin and just come back into the hand. So the coin goes from here to here. Look at it from this way, from here to here. So I'm basically putting the coin on my second finger, under the cover of my hand. There's the other coin. I do the move, come away, and I just put this on this coin. This one gets talked back into finger palm, which means I just move it over as I grab these coins, and I have them examine the coins. I take them back, making a few jokes. As I make a few jokes, I'll put my hand down, and this goes into this position here, purse palm, or Mrpl2 grip. Also, right from Bobo. It's a great position. A lot of people use it. And there are a lot of different ways to use it, but we're going to use it as a way of hiding this coin. So you'll notice that the coin is held at the base of the second finger between the first finger and the third finger, which press in. And you're kind of like right in between the 2 coins. You can see that. Let me see if I can get that good for you. Okay, there it is. My fingers closed. Now, some people have windows on the bottom side, but that's okay. We're not showing that side. So you have the coin there. We're going to do something that I call the purse palm subtlety. We're going to hide this coin with the other coins in the hand. Now, other people have used bigger coins to conceal that. Sawa did it with bigger coins over a smaller coin. It's not an original idea. Curtis Cam does it with dollars. Other people are trying the move in the studio. That's okay. That's what we're here for. We've got to get at those coins. The card guys can take a hike.
That's the popping purse palm, which happens every time you first learn it, right?
That's right, exactly. That's one of the dangers.
Yeah.
But you got to, how you learn it. You just got to keep it in there. You got to. It kind of builds its own little position, so your hand gets comfortable with where it is. So you walk around with it in there. It's not difficult, and there's some people, if you put your hand flat over it, you can't feel the coin, because the coin is really under the flesh of the 2 fingers here. So you're now going to pick these coins up, and you're going to hold them in a stack between the thumb, second, and third fingers. Now this is the knack part. You let them fall over, so they fall at the base, and you let them slide down like a railroad track over your fingers. That hides the coin. Okay, let's see if we can get it like from here, boom. We'll try it from a different position just so you can see it. From here, hit, and then come down. So it rolls over that bottom coin. That's the purse palm subtlety. You take this, and you roll it over like that. So you only see 4 coins. And the knack is to make sure it rolls over this and not like, this way or something like that. So you have to make sure it falls at the base of the hand, right between the second and third finger, right between the first and the third fingers, and then just let them roll down straight. And they kind of stop there. And so you're talking about the 4 coins. Now we're going to do another move to show that I have 4 coins. I call this the impossible 4-coin trick for 2 reasons. It uses 4 coins, but I'm going to do this trick for you 4 times for you. The first time, you're going to be surprised. I stack them up in finger palm against this, right at the base of the second finger, and I take the first coin and I put it right over here. Now, my hand drops down for a second, and I just kind of push them back over to the third finger, and I'll explain why in a little bit. Take the second finger, take the second coin, put it on top of that, and a little bit behind it. Now, this is where you're going to do the move. The third coin comes up over here, so the second and first finger are free. That's why I moved it over. I bring my hand over, and you can see that the hand covers the space between the first 2 coins. Let me move over like this. I let this coin fall over my fingers onto the other coin, creating a clink. I then use my thumb to grab the coin behind it and grab it with the 2 fingers and the thumb, and I kind of close my hand a little bit so they can't see that, and then I let that roll over my finger, and that's the 4th coin. So these 2 coins stay hidden in the hand. Let's do that again. So the actual move is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a very, very natural and deceptive false count. Okay, it's, I think it's the Mrpl2 discrepancy count. Anyway, these 2 coins are here. I'm going to do it one more time for you just because I think it's important that you could see. 1, 2, here's where the move comes, 3, 4. Okay, now the sound isn't exact. It hits in a little bit of different place, but that's okay. It works really well. Actually, I'm sorry, this is not the Mrpl2 discrepancy count. This is the pseudo-Himber count because it kind of looks like the Himber count, but it's a little different. Okay, so now you have the 3 coins here, and you say, wouldn't you be surprised to know that if I wiggle my hand like this, the first coin vanishes? And I open up and I spread the 3 coins here. I say, well, it really doesn't vanish. It just travels over to here. And there's the first coin. Now, I just slid that from the other one. So I still have 1 hidden, 3 here, and 2 in the right hand. And then what I do is I say, it just traveled over to here. And then I point and I classic palm this coin. Okay, as I close it, I put that into classic palm. And I say, were you surprised? They say, yes. I say, I know, I got goosebumps. And then I close my hand into a fist, and I close my hand, letting this one fall down. Okay, so that one falls down, and I close my hand over 2 of them by rolling them into my hand like this. And that's so when I open my hand, I can roll them back out. So you go from 3 here, 1 drops, and then as I close my hand, then I roll them in so they're being held between the first finger and the second finger in like a roll position. The other coin is in finger palm. Can you see that? Okay. Then I say, okay, what's bewildering is that when I give both hands a shake, the second coin travels across, just like that. And when I do that, I don't make a clink here. So I don't clink it. I just kind of put the coins in the right hand together and then spread them. And I don't let it clink because I just want the surprise to be this. Okay? Now, this is another really nice move. I say we're going to have to add the finger palm coin from the left hand into the right hand. And I say it's bewildering because the coins start here. And I put these into finger palm. And they travel all the way over to here. And I drop that finger palm coin onto the palm of my hand and hit it. So it's called the tap load. It's an invisible way of adding a coin. The coin starts here, and it winds up over here, yet you can't see it go. And that's a really, really nice addition. The coin starts here, It travels all the way over to here, but you can't see it go. And it's in classic palm position. That's because it travels by magic. But what's amazing, even if you can't hear it go, you can see it arrive. And I let that second coin fall to the bottom, just like the way we did before. Close my hand. And now I make an up, go across, and now there's the magical moment of the coin arriving. And I can now spread 3 over here and 1 over here. So I've made now the coins go over 1 at a time. So now I have 3 and 1. Now what do you do? Okay. Now, I put this coin in my left hand onto the table. As I do that, I classic palm the bottom coin here. And I do that by just grabbing it with my second and third finger, taking it away from the stack as I turn my hand down, and I put it into classic palm. Okay? As I put this down. Now, I substitute this one in my left hand for the coin I just classic palm. So far you've been surprised, bringing it to view. Okay, remember it's here. This one is classic palm. They think there are 3 in that stack still. So far you've been surprised, bewildered, and amazed. So I've now just taken 3 coins over, but I still have the one here. But that's not the name of this trick. I call this the impossible 4 coin trick, and I call it that for a reason. When I'm doing that, I put the coin in my right hand into purse palm, okay? Just as my hand's out of sight, and I turn. It's a little tiny move, and really people are looking over here. I now take these coins, and I do the same thing, use the purse palm subtlety. It's a little more difficult with 3 coins, but it works just the same. Okay? And I show that my hand only has 3 coins here. And I say to the gentleman here, how many coins are on the table? 1. How many coins are in my hand? 3. Now I'll ask this person, you sit here for 1 second, sir? Just come right up. I'll say, give me your right hand, palm up. Right hand to right hand, left hand to left hand. I'm going to give you my 3 coins to hold. I want you to close your hand over them. And again, I'm emphasizing 3 coins. If they see only 3 coins here. Close your hand around them and turn your hand palm down, holding them really tight as if his life hangs in the balance. It's a joke. But it also, emphasizes the 3 coins. So I turn my hand down, collecting them all into a stack, putting them into his hand, and closing his hand, turning it palm down. He's got the instructions. He knows what to do. I now take this coin, and I do a feint. I place it in my hand as if I'm doing a retention pass, but I'm not. And I come away like this with this hand suspicious. I'm going to hold this coin in my hand as if my life hung in the balance, which it kind of does, because if this trick doesn't work, I'm going to die on stage. Okay, so now they think the coin's here. So I'm going to say, hold your hand up just a little bit higher. Now they got fooled because there's nothing there. Perfect. I say, you have 3, and I have 1. When I do that, I do the ROPS move. Okay, the ROPS move stands for retention, open palm, steal. And I've pretty much become known for this move over the years. I'm going to go through it now, but I want to give you a couple of pointers on it that I never taught before. And one of the nice things is I teach a beginner in coin magic, and seeing how he can't do some of the things that I take for granted allows me to now pass that on to you guys. So the move is basically you're touching the coin once. On the second touch, you're stealing the coin. It looks like you're just touching the coin twice, but you're touching it once. The second time, as you touch it once, your thumb hits the intersection between the middle and upper phalange. The first finger's up, the other 2 fingers are down. 1. Now on 2, I close my hand. So I'm going to turn like this because you get a better idea. As I close my hand, that coin pops against the second finger. You can see that, it just pops. That makes it easy to do. And the thumb is there so I can grab the coin without moving my thumb. As I continue to close my hand, the second finger curls in toward the other 2 fingers, and the thumb goes up. So the coin sits mostly on the second finger, but a little bit on the third finger. So from the front, 1, 2, this is where I am, and as I close my hand, the coin comes out, and the coin sits there. So now at normal speed, okay, now you have 3, and we have 1 here, and that's the move. Now a couple of tips that I never taught. Number 1, what most people do is they try and do it too fast. And that screws up the timing. They'll see you do this, and they'll see you take it out. You got to make sure that as your hand's coming down, you're closing your hand at the same time, okay? You don't want to see the second tap. You want to imply the second tap. So it's touch, steal. You're using your wrist. You're not using your whole hand. So a lot of times, when you see people try this, they'll take the coin out like that, and it looks like they're stealing the coin out of the hand. I mean, you don't want them to think that. You want them to think that you're just touching the coin to indicate it. That's the nice thing about it. 1, 2. And it should be natural. Boom, boom. And as you come out of the hand, you don't come away. You come, once you steal it, you come up a little bit, like this. So the actual mechanics from here to here to here are not hard. All coin magic really isn't hard. It's just finesse and timing. But the important thing is to not use your elbow. You're using your wrist and your arm going up and down. But none of this, okay? So 1, 2, 3. And that's it. So I say, you have 3, and I have 1. Now, as I come down, I go into a position known as semi-back palm. I invented that position. Put my hand down, and what I do is I just use my thumb, and I push it under my second and third finger, and I rest my hand just like that. And I'm resting it at the edge of my close-up mat. Now, let me explain something to you. What I'm doing now is a move that not many people know. I've taught it for over 30 years, but not many people know it. It's amazing how you can keep stuff secret if you put it into print. So this is a technique called matting. I'm going to show you the move, and then I'm going to explain it. So you have 3, and I have 1. Now try not to blink. And it's gone. So we're using the close-up mat. Now all you need is a mat and a tablecloth to really do this. What you're doing is sneaking coins under the close-up mat. And it's a really nice way to do stand-up lapping. That's why I came up with it. I mean, you could use a top-it, which is great. You can use a holdout, but this is just a nice way to perform and be able to take coins from under your mat, put coins in there, take them out. So let's talk about the move. So I'm going to do it over here so you guys can see it. So this goes into semi-back palm. Now, on a move of the body, I basically just push that in. It doesn't have to go all the way, and it's sticking out. But because the mat has some depth, as soon as you move back, you can't see it, so nobody could see it there. So when I do it from this side, I'm going to show you something on the camera. So it's under there now. I'm going to move this out a little bit. And I'm looking at the camera to see if I can see it. Can you guys see anything? I'm going to move it a little bit more. Can you see it? Okay. I'm going to move it a little bit more until we see if we can see it. Can you see it yet? No? Nobody can see it? Okay, a little bit more. You can barely? Okay. So look how far I'm out. So you don't really have to get it all the way under there, but the mat, the depth of the mat, the thickness of the mat hides the coin too. Of course, the better you get it under there, the better it is. But from semi-back palm, your hand's like this. Now, how do you get it under? You don't want to move forward, okay, because that'll kind of spoil it. So when I come over like this, Mrpl2 move, I come down, I put it into semi-back palm, and I come down at the edge of my mat, and then I move my body. As I move my body, it goes under there. And then I move my hand away. So from here, it's at the edge. I turn my body, it's under. Done. It's just a little move, but that's natural body movement. It helps to hide the move. Now, if you have coins under your mat, you could also, if I have one here, I can just straighten my mat and take it out. You can do the same thing when you have a coin in there. You can pick up your mat and get another coin to straighten it. So you can get coins out. You can put coins in. It's a really nice thing. Now, I have 2 mats. One is on a little board, and the other one is on top. Black acts as a stage, and the red highlights the center. And that's why I use those 2 colors. I used other colors, but those are the best ones. So it's a 2-mat system. I use it for my professional performances. If you're doing table to table, you may not be able to use this particular thing. And there are other ways to get around using matting, and I'll talk to you about that at the end. So the coin is now under the mat. I now keep my hand closed, and I say, okay, you have 3, I have 1. Now, I go, it's very hard to fool my actual words are, remember, the hand can always fool the eyes, sometimes the nose and occasionally even the mouth, but it never ever can fool the eyes of an entire audience who have been burning my hand like a laser beam since we started this trick. Notice that my hand is closed. That's focusing attention here. And I say, but under test conditions, it would be impossible for my coin to vanish. Now, that's a really big surprise. Now we turn over here, and I'm using 2 people in my professional show. You can still use 1, but what I do is to get the other person involved, I ask this person to put the coins onto the table one at a time while this person counts for him. So both people are involved. And he counts 1, 2, 3, 4. The impossible 4-coin trick. Thank you. So, again, the production of the 4 coins, I think, is magical, and it allows you to hide an extra coin, which makes the second part of the trick, the impossible 4-coin trick, impossible, because there's no way they're thinking that you were able to produce 4 coins, but yet you got a 5th coin hidden. Now, on my New York Coin Magic Seminar DVD series, in Volume 1, I actually performed the impossible 4-coin trick in a second version, which used 6 coins, and it allowed you to get 3 ahead. But it was really kind of difficult, and I think that this is the most practical way to do the trick, and this is the way I do it. Even though the other one looks cleaner, this is the best way. And the idea of having the 4-coin production, I think, makes it more magical, and because you could just start out giving 4 coins to examine. I mean, you can do that, that's true. But if you produce the 4 coins, I think it's much more magical, and the fact is I get to use all my crazy little jokes, which makes it that much more entertaining. Are there any questions on this?
It's just so beautiful.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Now, the next 3 tricks that I did are from the first Penguin Live lecture. So if you guys want to learn how to do that, go back and either buy the DVD or get the download from Penguin Magic. So there's the blatant commercial. Okay, the last trick. These coins are actually in the pocket, okay? And I've got the bling in the other pocket. So this is the magical money rap, the rap song that produces the 4 coins in a miser's dream. So what I do is I talk about my life in a bad and depressed area, and I use all my dumb jokes. But at the end I say, even to this day, I can still rap. Do you guys want to hear me rap? And everybody goes, yeah, yeah. I say, okay, so Ruby usually doesn't sing without the bling. So now I go into both pockets, and now in my pocket I can take 4 coins and I can put them into angle palm, just like that. This is a really great concealment. By the way, you can do the same thing and use the same motion to get them into classic palm. You just have to go down further, but that's a lot more difficult. You have to stretch more. With 1 coin, it's not bad. With 2 coins, it becomes a little more difficult into classic palm. So I'm doing 4 coins, but you have to really stretch to get it into classic palm. So when you think about it, getting it into angle palm is just so much easier. Okay, so I go into both pockets, I silently angle palm the 4 coins, and I come out with the bling. Now your hand looks very, very open. So there's no way that they're going to think that you're palming coins here. And I put this on. And I make the jokes. And that's my reason for using this, to go into my pocket so I can palm the coins, because you've got to have a reason to go into your pockets. So now I go through the rap. And I'm going to just, so I can explain what happens, I'm going to do the rap really fast. And then I understand that there are people who aren't as old as I am, and we may have to change some of the words. So I actually wrote something for you guys, okay? So this way you don't have to do the rap exactly the way I do. But I'm a rapper with arthritis. My knees are nearly shot. I put on 20 pounds and now my body's gone to pot. My friends, they call me Ruby. My clients, Dr. R. You'll find me doing magic at the home or in the bar where I'll be funning with the homeboys, showing coin tricks to my peeps. But they're not always watching. They're too busy sending tweets. When I say that, I turn this way and I make like I'm doing tweets, which makes my hands look open. So again, the coins are there, but they can't see them. And I turn over here because I don't want this person to see the coins in my hand if I did it straight on. So I turn and I do that. But now I'm going to do a little magic just for you. It's a thing I do with coins because it's what I like to do. Money, money, money. Hey, there's money everywhere. And I do this, which looks like my hands are open. You get it from your paycheck, and I point while the hand pulls one out with the 3rd finger and just lets it drop, while I get it from the air. I get money from my elbow, and as I come down, I pull another one out, pop it out. I get money from my knee, take another one, pop it out. Now, this is interesting. I use a ROPS triple steel, actually. It's a similar technique to take these out of my hand. And I say, I'm like a friggin' ATM, but I don't pay a fee. So I put these in my hand, and as I open my hand, I snap this one down. And then as I close my hand, I just grab all 3 with my thumb, and I come out. Now, what I do here, so my hand has these coins basically sitting like this. So I snap them down, I take all 3 out, and I turn my body, and I put these in my pocket. As I do that, I got one in angle palm, the others are sitting here, but as I do that, I quickly just silently angle palm them. So you can get them back into angle palm. So it looks like I produced 3 coins, okay, and I put 3 in my pocket. So now I say, I did this for my friend. Let's see, I have to remember the actual words, so I'm not doing the rap in the order I normally do it. I say that I did this to my friend, I did my little trick, but he thought I was being cheap, and he called Mia. So as I'm doing that, I'm pulling the next coin out and putting it here, and he called Mia, and I just pause. Let them in their mind think I did this to my friend, I did my little trick, but he said I was being cheap, and he called Mia. And the word, is prick, which we can say now, but I don't say it because it's just but you let your mind say it. So, you follow through and then everyone laughs. It's like a subtle thing. So at that point, I grab another one and let it fall down. And then I say, money, 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 it's the halves I love the most, but when they come out of my nose, it's really kind of gross. So I kind of just grab the coin, let it fall out, grab it like that, come up to my nose, and I just let the coin that's clipped between my thumb against the fingers fall right out. Okay? And then I put my hand down and I grab the next one out, and I say, I got money from my homeboys, drop it in my hand, and then I come over, there's one coin left. I got money from my hose, and to pull it out, I just turn it's in angle palm. As I turn my hand over, I'm just going to grab it like this with the third finger and the second finger and just pull it out so my hand looks empty. And then I say when I need money from my hose, I get a big laugh. And then I pretend to place this in my hand, but I just snap it in there like this, and I hold it back. So it's snap, sits on the second finger. Snap, sits on the second finger. It's like a retention vanish into your hand. And then I say, I got it at the Home Depot. I got the hose were all on sale at the local Home Depot. And then I say, I need money from my armpit, and I come over here and I just produce that. It's on my second finger, just produce it. This one's looking mint. It doesn't smell because I used a good deodorant. And I do the same move. Now, I need money for a sandwich. I grab it from behind their ear, so they're involved. A nice corned beef on rye. Pull the second one out. Hit. But now I'm getting hungry. From the air, hit, but now it's time to say goodbye. Out of the mouth. Boom. End of the show. Big applause. And you did an 11-coin production, the Miser's Dream, in your hand. Thank you. So, are there any questions about any of those tricks? Angle palm is not an easy concealment, but it's a good concealment, and it's a concealment that more people should use. The only bad angle is from this side, from the left, because they can see into your hand. Other than that, your hands look pretty good. I will say one thing about Miser's Dream. There was about a year ago, there was a discussion on what constitutes a Miser's Dream. So why is it not a coin production? What is it, a Miser's Dream? It doesn't use a bucket. Not everybody uses buckets. There was an old magician who hated the Miser's Dream. Finally, he kicked the bucket. He did. You don't have to use a bucket. And I use this as a scenario. So imagine there are two hobos on the bench. One hobo gets up, picks up a trash can, okay, and empties it out. And then he produces the first coin from the trash can. Then he produces a coin from his friend's elbow. Then he produces it from the guy's knee. And he produces 11 coins and walks away. That's a Miser's Dream, right? So now let's say he's doing the same thing, but he's just pulling the coins from the air and from his body, putting it in the bucket. It's a Miser's Dream, right? Okay. Now you got the two hobos on the bench. There's no bucket around, so he takes off his shoe, and he starts producing the coins off his friend and out of the air. Still 11-coin production, same exact moves. It's a Miser's Dream, right? Okay, but you're using a shoe, not a bucket. Now he does the same thing where he's producing the coins from the air and from his body, 11 coins into the shoe. Miser's Dream, right? Same moves. Okay, so still same thing. Now he's not using his shoe. He just uses his hand. He produces it off his friend, out of the air, 11 coins, same thing, but he uses his hand. Miser's Dream, right? You don't need the buckets. It's the same exact trick. Now he's Michael Rubinstein, and he's doing a rap song, and he's doing it by himself, putting the coins into his hand. Still a Miser's Dream. So I submit that a Miser's Dream, you don't need a bucket. You can use any receptacle. I'm using my hand. It doesn't have to be off of somebody else. We're so used to seeing maybe a magician take it off a little child. You don't need that. And the patter is what you make of it, so that's fine. And then there was another question: when is it a 4-coin production, or when is it a coin production, and when is it a Miser's Dream? And my answer is that you have to establish in the audience's mind that there's an unlimited amount of money that you can produce from the air. That's what makes it a Miser's Dream. That's the whole idea. If you're producing 4 coins and then doing a trick, that's a 4-coin production. It's not a Miser's Dream. If you're doing an 11-coin production, well, I think there's a point where you're establishing that you can just get coins from anywhere. But usually with a limited amount of coins, 3 coins, 4 coins, if you grab them out of the air, it doesn't matter. It's still a production, a 4-coin production to do a trick. But if you're making the audience believe that you can just get coins out from anywhere, and you establish that in their minds, that's what makes it a Miser's Dream. Are there any questions? Yes?
Yeah, 2 questions. When you had the coins in your pocket at the beginning, Do you do anything to keep them from jingling and talking there? And then also, I notice it doesn't look like it looks like your coins are not soft coins. Do you ever use those, or do you prefer ones like this that are?
Those are great questions. So when I start the show, I have the coins already. They're all palmed in angle palm when I come out. So because I want to start the show and I want to get right to it. So I've got them already in there, so they're not jingling. When they're in my pocket, the 4 coins, they're in there for basically all of the show, and I'm just doing certain tricks. They really don't jingle around. I'm not moving around that much that's going to make them jingle, so it doesn't really matter. And I make sure that there's, in my show, I have a deck of cards in my pocket which come out, and then it's just the coins, so it's easy for me to collect them. And if it takes me a little while, it's because I want to make sure that get them in a good palm, so it looks like I'm just fumbling in my pocket for something. And that's okay. You know, you don't have to like come right out really fast. These are not soft coins. These are silver Kennedy $half, and I use all sorts of coins. I use clad coins, the regular clad coins. I use old Barber coins, which are soft, and I use them for certain things. And I use the silver JFK coins. I use these only because they're shiny, they look new, and these are actually 1968 silver coins. They don't have the same amount of silver as the 64 Kennedys, but this is what I have, so this is what I use. And I use the same coins all the time, so they kind of get trained, like they're not bent or anything, so they fit really well in my hand. And so I have my coins that I use for certain tricks, and that's what I use for these for. But those are good questions. Anybody else? Okay, yes. You got a question?
I don't do a lot of coin tricks, but one of the coin tricks I do involves a vintage quarter, a vintage dime, a vintage nickel, and a vintage penny. The problem is they're really ratty looking, but I don't want to shine them because there's no such thing as a shiny 1919 penny.
Right.
What do you recommend I do to make them look presentable?
Well, you don't have to shine them, but you can clean them. Just soap and water. I do that with a lot of times when I use my Barber coins, and I don't want them to be super shiny either. But they get sticky when you use them a lot in your hands from the sweat. So I just lightly clean them. I don't try and shine them up or anything. I like them to have, and especially the old Queen Victorian English pennies, which I use, which you'll see later on. If you shine them up too much, they really get brass looking. You know, you don't want that. You want them to have that nice dark look. So I'll clean them gently. Soap and water, nothing special. Just take a washcloth and just rub them to dry them. And just regular soap from the tap water. I don't use anything special. The silver coins, I have a silver polish, just a commercial silver polish that's impregnated in a rag, and I can just clean them up that way. So the silver coins are a little different. I want these to be shiny. But I don't shine them up too much, also because the stuff that gets on the coins sometimes can not let the coins move the right way. So I'll clean them with that, but then I'll just kind of rub them down so that they don't feel like they've got something on them. Any other questions? Cool. So maybe we'll move on. What do you think? Sure. Okay. So since I have 4 coins here, these coins you could see, they got substance, they got mass, they got form, but I'm going to show you something you can't see. And you can't feel it either. I got it right here in my pocket. It's a little tiny hole which I'm going to place at the center of the table. Now you can't see it, you can't feel it either, but I'm going to prove to you that it's there, not by its physical properties, but by its metaphysical characteristics. And I'm going to use the 4 coins, which I'm going to place in my hand. This hand goes underneath. With a little push, the first coin goes right through the table and into the hand below. Now, if I could do it with the first, I certainly can do it with the others. I'm going to hold these over here. I'm going to take this one and put it down so 1 coin's going under. And a little push, just like that, the second coin goes right through that hole and into the hand below. So I've got 2 coins not doing anything. They're just sitting here looking pretty. These 2 coins have already gone through. These 2 coins go under. These go over. And just like that, the next coin goes right through the table. Well, that leaves 1 last coin. We're going to do the same thing that we did with these. So I'm going to take these 3 coins, 3 coins only. These coins go underneath. This goes over. And just like that, they all go right through the table. Thank you. Now, someone once asked me, you put the coins through 1 at a time. Could you have done it all at once? And I said, I don't know. Never tried it. But if I could, I'd take all the coins, just like that, watch that spot, here are the coins, this hand goes underneath. And just like that, they all go right through. Thank you. Another use of angle palm, and we'll talk about that. So I love coins for the table. Coins for the table is one of my all-time favorite tricks, and in the first Penguin lecture I taught a sit-down version, which is my all-time favorite trick. This is a stand-up version. There are times when you can't perform sitting down, and I will submit that there are always times when you need to sit down. If you're performing at a table after dinner for friends and you're sitting down, you're performing with them, you're not performing for them by standing up. When you sit down, you get a good look at the whole person, the frame, the face, the hands, everything's framed. When you're standing up, they have to look up and down, so it's not as comfortable. But, you don't always sit down, so you need to have a version for when you're standing up and a version for when you're sitting down. I like this version because it's very, very clean, and it uses some good moves. So the first move, you show the coins and you spread them out. You notice that there's nothing in classic palm. But this is a move of Harvey Rosenthal's that I learned from the folios of Carl Fulvus. And what he does is, as he puts them in his other hand, he just kind of, let's do it this way. He rotates them in the back, so one coin now falls into classic palm. I now classic palm that one, let these three fall down, and drop them into the hand. Coins don't like to be dropped. That's because they roll too far. So just like this, let one fall into the classic palm position. Classic palm, drop these three to your fingertips and put them over here. Now as I come down here to the edge of the table, I turn my hand over, balancing that coin on the end of my finger. So I can just put my hand underneath it, and that looks really empty. Okay, there's the coin. It looks really empty. This was published in David Riegel's first book that Harry Lerner, I think, was called Star Quality. He didn't credit me, but later on in a review of my rattle purse, he corrected the mistake and gave me credit. He didn't know that it wasn't a standard move because I had shown it to him when we were in New York together. But he credited me later on, and so just so you all know that that's my move. So come down, drop them like this, and you put this on the table. The second, you're basically just going to show three by fanning them out. As I go to put them in my hand, the bottom coin is retained. So as I come over here, okay, the bottom coin sits on the second finger. I kind of just pull it into my hand and close my hand like that. Can you guys see that? So here are the coins. As I put them in my hand, the bottom one just sits like that. So I just pull it off the stack, and it's easy to do. As I do that, if you'll see the position of the hands, I pulled it back a little bit, and now these two are actually in front. So when I close my hand over, that one stays in my hand, okay? Let's say I've got three, just push the two over, and I keep this one over here. I pick this coin up, and I use my thumb, and I push it to the tips of my second and third finger as I come over, just to make it stable. And as I go under the table with this one, I put it into Tenkai pinch, which used to be known as Goshman pinch. Bring it over behind my fingers, grab it with the pinky against that. So when you extend the hand, the coin is sitting between the pinky and the third finger. Now it's kind of flat, okay? It's not hanging down. It would be easier to see that way. And from this angle, you could get a little piece of it. You could see it there, but from this angle, it's totally invisible. And you can see the coin there, but if you tilt your hand down, it's invisible. So under the cover of the table, okay, I take this coin and I put it into Goshman pinch, and then I just come up to give a quick flash. So this is invisible underneath. I come down, I put this into classic palm, grab that coin and bring it over, hit, and let that drop at the same time, and put these two coins on the table on the right. I now pick these coins up, and when I pick them up, I show them with one coin pushed toward the edge of the first finger, the other coin underneath. The coin that's going to be thumb palmed is the coin on top. So as I close my hand, that first coin on top goes into thumb palm. So I show two coins. If the coins were like this, it would be harder to do. So it's easy to do it like that. So the one coin's sitting over here and the other coin's underneath. So I close my hand, that goes into thumb palm. As I pick these up and go under, I drop the bottom coin like this onto the table. That's in thumb palm, but only for a second. Then I come back and I allow the thumb palm coin to just fall to my second and third fingers. Boom. And now it's like that. Now I come over with the stack and I push one out. And then I go to grab this coin. As I do that, I take this coin and put it on the table. So from the front, it looks like this. Okay, so it's a nice way of getting that coin from this hand to the other hand. From the side, let's see how it's best to do. Probably this way. Okay, you have the coins here. Push that up. Come over like this. And there's no hesitancy, okay? So it's like it's a beat thing. So you drop the coin there, tips of the second and third fingers, start push this out, come over here, and as you do this, I'll push this back a little bit. The coin in the right hand, I'll just push back a little bit, put this one down, put that one down, and put that one down. Okay? Now, the next coin, we do the Mrpl2 move, which we talked about earlier. So I show one coin here, again, like this, and I point to the spot, or I point to the coins, and I turn my hand, my body, and as I do that, this gets put into the Mrpl2, purse palm, and then I pick these coins up in a stack, and I let them fall over, and I use the purse palm subtlety to come down my hand like this. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier. You try and credit everybody. Curtis Cam does a similar type move with dollars. And later on, I think Ponta, in one of his tricks, uses a move with dollars where he covers it with coins like this. But Curtis had the dollar thing, and I had the $half thing before that. So I come down, 3 coins, really only 3, they see that, and boom, the coins go right through. So now we have all 4 coins at once. And this is the move that I actually tried to initially publish in Apocalypse, where he got the position wrong. It's called the Bronx Take. And you could use this as a 4-coin vanish. And it looks like this, as a 4-coin vanish. It's a silent transfer. The coins look like they're all gone. It's really, really nice. And what you're doing is you're putting the coins into angle palm, which is silent, while you're pretending to take them like a French drop. So let's look how it looks. The hand comes over the coins loosely. And as I do that, under the cover of the hand, the left hand, the right fingers go against the coin. So that's 1. For 2, this goes under, and I turn my hand over, so the coins are in this position. So 1, and I turn my hands when I'm doing it, 2. So this is where the coins are. Let's look at that in a different angle. 1, 2, and you're like this. 3 is I put them in there and I point. So 1, 2, they're in there now, and then I open my hand. Okay? So it's a very, very nice way of vanishing 4 coins. But here we're going to use it as a concealment and not a vanish. So they think I've got 4 coins here when they're over here. I point to the table, allowing them to silently fall out. Okay, there it clinked, but if you do it, let's do it without any noise so you can see what it looks like. Okay. I pull them out and I point, and I'm holding them like this. So how do you do that? Let's do it from the side. And I'm holding them with my thumb and my second finger. Okay? Now, as I come under the table, I balance it on the second finger, and I turn my hand over like this. So it's kind of like the first move that we did, but with 4 coins. Okay? And my hand looks very, very empty. And you can kind of gauge where the table is. So I have my mat on top, and I know how thick my mat is, so I know that I can hide it. If I go a penny higher, you can see them, but if I come down to about here, you can't see them at all. Then I kind of close my hand, so this way the coins don't make any noise, boom, and they all go through. Jean-Emmanuel Frances does another move, and I won't explain his method, but he holds the coins like that. So his hand looks pretty empty, and he's got them trapped between his fingers, or it's this way, but it looks very, very nice. So same idea. Are there any questions on that? All right, well, thank you. Angle palm is so cool. I'm just going to show you one of the moves that I used to do when I was a kid. This is kind of what I developed when I was 15 years old. A friend showed me how to vanish a coin, and I learned it incorrectly. And this is what I learned when I was 15 years old. So I did this with a quarter, and I'm just going to do it. It's more like stagey, but what I used to do it down like this. But if I show it to you like this, you close your hand into a fist, close, and the coin vanishes. I missed. And let's do that again. And the coin's totally gone, and there it is. So it's a nice way of showing both hands. It can't be seen on the camera, but I used to do it like below the people's eyes, so I do it like this. And it's just very, very fast. So it uses a back clip and a transfer to angle palm. So what you're doing is like this. You're coming over, and at this position, instead of putting it into angle palm, you're clipping it with your first 2 fingers, just like that. So the coin can't be seen from the front, but it's sitting over there. Okay? So your hand looks like that. Now, as I start to turn my hand, I grab this coin, and I come over like this, bring the coin over my hand, and put it into angle palm. So from the front, am I in the view? Okay, so you put your fingers here, close your hand, open it, okay, turn your hand, and open it. So it's very, very nice. You can do
Michael,
it.
if you face toward me and act like that's the audience, we get to see the backstage view.
Okay.
That'd be kind of nice.
So let's see. So
Yeah.
that look good?
Yeah. Nice.
So I usually do it like the people are on top of me looking down, and I just kind of close my hand and do that. And it's just a casual thing. I call it the one-hand coin banish. It was from my first book. It's on the Encyclopedia of Coin Sleights. If you guys haven't seen that, there are over 100 moves that I put out with Vidionics. Actually, no, I filmed them in Germany. They were the Master Coin Technique series in 1985. I filmed them, and then they were bought by Vidionics. They put them out, and then L&L bought them, and they made them into DVDs. And now you can buy them as a cheap download from, I think, Vanishing Ink. I don't have the rights to them anymore, but there are over 100 coin moves, many moves that people don't even know. And they're all very clean, all retention techniques. So if you want to learn coin magic and you want to study the moves, that's the thing to get. You see it in slow motion from different angles, and it's great. This is one of the many, many moves on there. Probably several of the moves I'm teaching tonight are on there. Again, you hide things in print, and nobody knows about them. So that's just kind of a fun thing. Are there any questions on coins for the table? Great, thank you. All right, we're going to try something a little different. We're going to switch to handkerchief magic, a little different than what you were doing. But can I have somebody just sit in the hot seat for me? Hi, what's your name?
Mark.
Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Good.
Okay, so we're going to do something with some coins. Let's see, 2 coins and a handkerchief. Now I have a copper coin and a silver coin, and we're going to cover them with the handkerchief, just like this. Now, when I pick up the coins, note that the ends of the handkerchief come down pretty much toward the center. That's going to be important later on in the trick, and you'll see why. What I'd like you to do is just feel the 2 coins in there. One's on top, one's underneath. Can you feel them in there?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like you to name either copper or silver. Whichever one you name, I'm going to magically take out of the handkerchief, leaving the other one inside.
The copper one.
The copper, you sure? You can change your mind.
I think I'll go with the copper. Yeah.
Okay, I want you to grab all the ends of the handkerchief, okay, all of them, and just gently pull. Gently pull as I can extract right from the folds of that handkerchief the copper coin. And if you'll open that up, inside should be the silver coin. Great, thanks. That worked out nice. Wait, stay here. I'm going to do something else. That worked out well. So I'm going to try doing something else. I'm going to try covering the silver coin with the handkerchief just like this. Now, what I'd like you to do is with one of your hands, that hand, hold the end of the coin.
Okay.
And with the other hand, hold the ends of the handkerchief all together. Good. Now, when I say 3, I just want you to let go of the coin. Let go of the silver coin like this, okay, when I say 3.
Okay.
Okay, you got it?
Yep.
Okay, this is perfect, perfect. Oh, you know what? I think you're going to have to hold a little bit more.
Okay.
A little bit more because it's not folded all the way. That's perfect. Okay, ready? That's perfect. 1, 2, 3, go. Got it right in there. Open it up. And you got the 2 coins in there. Great. Thank you. Wait, don't go away. Last time I did this, somebody said it was a great trick, but the handkerchief hid things. You weren't able to see what was going on, and that kind of made it less fun. So I'm going to try and do the same thing without the handkerchief. That would be cool, right?
That would be.
So I want you to choose copper or silver. Which one do you want me to use?
I'll go with the silver one this
I
time.
want to use the silver. Okay. So what I'd like you to do is give me your left hand palm up. I'm going to give you this coin to hold. I want you to close your hand really tight around it so nobody can take it out of your hand. Close your hand really tight, turn it palm down, because I'm going to try the same thing with the copper coin. I'm trying to make the copper coin go into your hand to join that silver coin. Now, you only feel 1 coin there, right?
Yes.
Watch. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Oop, didn't go yet. We'll try it again. 1, 2, 3, go. No, still didn't go. Oh, wait, hold your hand up. It's a little bit higher. Let me make a little X here. Now, watch that spot as I take the copper coin and go, boom. Did you feel it go?
No.
See, I am so good. Not only did I take my copper coin to place it into your hand, but I took your silver coin out, because I now have the silver coin, and if you'll open your hand, you now have the copper coin. Thank you. So these tricks are right out of Bobo, but I changed some of the workings to make it more clean. And the first one is called copper or silver extraction. So it uses 2 coins for this, but we got 3 because we have to get to the second part of the trick, which uses the extra coin. If you're sitting down and you're using a dinner napkin, you can keep the extra copper coin on your lap. But we're not, so we're standing up. So it could either be in classic palm or in finger palm. I kept it in finger palm just to make it more basic, but it's what you're comfortable with. He examines the coins. I put them on my left hand with the copper coin underneath. Now, in my experience, I found that more people choose the copper coin than the silver coin, so that's what I'm preparing for. but I'll tell you what happens if he chooses the silver coin. So I have the 2 coins here with the copper coin underneath. I cover them with the handkerchief. I now, with my thumb underneath, I just kind of push the silver coin a little bit up, and I grab the silver coin only, leaving the copper coin in finger palm, and I put them together just like this, okay? I now will reposition the coins. So I'll take both coins with my thumb, my right thumb and my first finger on top, and grab that and turn it so I'm holding it like this. So I've got the copper coins out and the silver coins inside. Okay? I now will stretch this out and ask him to feel both coins. So I pull this back so he can really feel both coins in there. Now I'll ask him to name either copper or silver, whichever one he names, I'm going to pull out from the handkerchief, leaving the other one inside. So if he says copper, I'm set. He just grabs the folds and I pull it out. But let's say he says silver. So what I do is I grab the coins. Now again, this is just going along for the ride. We're not using that finger palm coin. I'll grab the coin, the handkerchief and the coins with the other hand, with the first and second finger and the thumb behind. I'll take this hand and I'll put it into the handkerchief. And what I'll do is, when I put my hand in, my 2 fingers go on the silver coin, and I'm going to show you this with a clear hank in a second. And the other hand makes a fold like that. So now I'm holding both coins. The copper coin, if you can see that, is held by a fold that I make, and the silver coin is held by the first 2 fingers, okay? So now I then show him, I say, I'm going to show you the silver coin, so I flip this over so he can see that, and then I flip both this and this one back with a flick of the wrist. So I say, you see the silver coin? And I go like this, which reverses the position of the coins. Now the silver coin is out, the copper coin is in. I'll ask him to grab it all, not here, just there, and I'll pull this out. And there's the silver coin, and inside he opens that up, there's the copper coin. Now I know it may be difficult to see, so I've got a clear handkerchief here just to make it easier to visualize, so we'll do the same thing. So copper coins underneath in finger palm position, the $half on top of that, left hand. I cover that just like this, so you can see the 2 coins there. I pick up just the silver coin, leaving the copper coin on my fingers, and I put this on there so the 2 coins are together. I now grab the coins with my thumb underneath of the right hand and the first and second finger, and I just adjust them so I can grab it like this. So now I have, again, the copper coin is out, the silver coin is in. And I'll have him feel both coins. Okay, he'll feel both coins. Yep. So the copper coin's easy. We're all set up for that. So let's say this is the silver coin. I grab the coins with the thumb, first and second finger of the right hand, and I take this hand and I put it into the handkerchief. Into the handkerchief, I'll make a fold against the copper coin, like that. The other 2 fingers go on the silver coin. So the 2 fingers are holding the silver coin in the handkerchief. Can you see that? Okay. So now I give him a flash of that. So I'll pull this up, and he sees the silver coin, and now I flick the wrist so both go over, which reverses the coins. There's the silver coin, there's the copper coin. He pulls that out, pull, hold it over here, and just pull, and there's the silver coin. And that's the first part of the trick. Now, the second part is to make the silver coin go into the handkerchief. I've got this coin here. Now we're going to put it into play. I put this coin into JW grip. I have 3 grips, which I really, really love. And I think that they've really modernized modern coin magic because they allow you to have very clean, empty displays. JW grip was published by Jimmy Wilson in a Horace Bennett book, I think 1958. Mike Gallo found it, and he put it into Apocalypse in a routine. And once it came out, everybody started to use it, and it's exploded. So JW grip is a nice concealment. So the coin is here. I clip it for a second between the thumb and I use my thumb, and I push it with the first finger. So that doesn't look very like anything, but if I turn my hand like this, the coin is hidden by the first finger. Can everybody see that? So I'm going to turn my hand around so you can see the hand looks very empty, okay? But if we turn it around, it doesn't look very good. But that's the position, okay? So from here, I go into here. Many people will use it as a vanish to show, and you show that as well. But as I take the silver coin, I place it into my hand, and I hold it like this. So my hand looks very, very empty. Now I'm playing to him, not the camera, so you might not have been able to see it, but this is how my hand looks. Now we take the handkerchief, and I'll use the regular handkerchief for this, and I'll put it over both coins. As I do that, this hand just goes up like this. Once it's covered, it goes up like this. So as I cover it, I go up like this. Here's the JW coin, and here's the $half. I grab the JW coin, putting the $half into finger palm position, and then I just grab this and I come down, letting the $half coin drop to where my hand is. Okay? Now I've got the $half here, and I'll do it again with the sheer coin so you can see it. And I'm holding the other coin. So you hold the coin with that hand. Now I grab the other coin, the $half coin here, so he can't feel it by accident, and he grabs that. When I did it before, there was a little bit of a fold, that's why I had to adjust. I now will move my hand over and come over here and just say, let go at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, okay? So this way nothing happens that doesn't accidentally fall. He grabs this, and now you do whatever vanish. You could do a retention vanish. I did Al Schneider's classic vanish, where it's here, and I make believe like I'm catching it at my fingertips. It stays in classic palm. Al Schneider does it a little differently. He pretends to toss it into his hand. I actually put my fingers in my hand. Al doesn't like that. I'm sorry, Al. It's just the way I do it. But it's a great move, and the way he does it looks great too. So that's what I used. You go like this. And now 1, 2, 3, I kind of hit him as he lets go, so you could hear the clink. And now as he opens it up, I draw out that classic palm coin to the tips of my fingers, and getting ready to put that into JW grip again. Now I take the silver coin, and I pop this into JW as I hold the coin like this. And I say I'm going to do the same thing, but without the handkerchief. So look at this position. You look very, very open. Which one do you want me to use? It doesn't matter what he says, because he's going to say whichever one, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to do the same thing and say, okay. He says the copper coin, I say, okay, that's the one we'll use. I put that down. If he says silver coin, okay, that's the one we'll use. And I put the copper coin down, so it doesn't matter. Now I say, give me your left hand palm up. I'm going to then say, I'm going to give you this coin to hold. I want you to close your hand around it really tight and turn your hand palm down. That preps him. So what I do is I pretend to place the silver coin in my hand, but I just grab the JW grip coin, which is there. So I just do this very casually, and I keep the silver coin in my hand. So I've got the coins like this. I move it so you can exposed. I go to take the copper coin. The silver coin just gets left in the hand. Okay? So I say, I'm going to give you the copper coin to hold. No, I said that wrong. See, we can do things slow. Okay, you show the coins like this. I'm going to give you the copper coin to hold. I place the coin in my hand. I take just the JW grip coin. The silver coin stays in the hand. And I give him just the copper coin. So he takes it, closes his hand, turns it over. I now take this coin, the $half here, and I place that on top of his hand. Okay, and I say I'm going to make him go into his hand. And I go like this. Doesn't go. Doesn't go. Now I use a really cool switch. I take this coin. I call this pistol grip technology. You can do a bobo switch, but this is just something interesting. I hold the coin between the thumb and the first finger, and I extend the second finger so that the coin is held like this. What I'm going to do is pretend to place the copper coin into my hand, but I'm going to really drop the silver coin. So the move without that, it looks like this. I have the silver coin here. Let me do it from the way it would look. Here's the silver coin. I go like that. So here's the copper coin, rather. I go like that, and it looks like I'm really taking it. And all I'm doing from here is I'm putting it on my second finger, moving my thumb to the edge, turning it over into finger palm. So 1, 2, 3, turn it over, goes into finger palm. From the front, here's the copper coin. Looks like, and you can make it vanish that way. We're using it as a switch. So I take the copper coin, go like this, drop the silver coin into my hand, and touch. Okay? Did you feel anything happen? No. Well, I am so good, not only did I take my copper coin and place it into your hand, but I did one better. I took your silver coin out. Now, as I show the silver coin, I pop this one into JW grip again, because I now have this silver coin. Your hands look very empty except for one coin. Now, I actually do a couple of turnovers, so I take this coin with my thumb and my first finger, like that, of the left hand, and as I turn my hand over, the thumb takes the JW grip coin and brings it into the hand, and I go 2, 3. I now have the silver coin, so that's back in finger palm. So I now have the silver coin, boom, boom, boom. You open your hand, you have the copper coin, so your hands look very, very open. Are there any questions on that? I'm going to go back and do the second part of the trick with the handkerchiefs just so you can see. So the second part of the trick is where I just take the silver coin and I cover it with the sheer handkerchief like this. So there's the copper coin, there's the silver coin. I take them both. The silver coin gets pressed into finger palm as I take the copper coin with my thumb and my first finger of the left hand, close my hand. I grab all the folds, letting that silver coin drop down. He now holds the coin over there, and he now holds the edge of the handkerchief. I now explain to him, he's got to do that. Now you could hold. And then as I make this one vanish, it just drops right on. That way you can see it a little better, I hope. Are there any questions on any of those phases? You're going to JW grip 3 different times, and I think it makes your hands much cleaner than in the original version. No? All right. Well, thanks for helping.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. You guys want to see some more? Yeah. Okay, great, because I am all for it. I always wanted to do stage magic. I did. In fact, I work in the hospital as a veterinarian. I was actually going to show my staff a trick where I actually saw a rabbit in half, but they wanted me to use one of my technicians, so I thought, why split hairs? But no, actually, I love doing stage magic. I just can't. I love the big boxes of David Copperfield, the lions and tigers of Siegfried and Roy, the beautiful dancing girls. My wife hates when I do that. But I only have boxes to sell DVDs and to mail packages. I have 4 cats, so the lions and tigers won't work. And I once went to North Carolina to buy the dancing girl outfit, but then they wouldn't let me use the bathroom. So that's not going to work. But I do want to show stage magic using close-up objects. Maybe one of you guys can come up to the seat and help me out. Okay, so I've got a little box with a rubber band. And inside the box, I have some coins. What I'd like you to do is examine the box, make sure there are no trapdoors or secret assistants. Looks good? Okay. I'd like you to examine the coins, $50 and an English penny. And last but not least, I'd like you to examine the rubber band. Okay, we're going to use these props to do the stage illusion that I call the substitution trunk mystery. So we're going to use the $50. The $50 is Harry Houdini, okay? And Harry Houdini's got to go in the box. So we're going to put him in the box, close the box up really tight, and we're going to take the rubber band and wrap it around there. The rubber band represents the chains used in the big stage illusion. Okay? Now the English penny is no longer an English penny. This is Harry's lovely assistant Bess. We're going to put her on top of the box. On the count of 3, she's going to change places with Harry. Well, of course, in the real version, they have a curtain, right? So we're going to use my hand as a curtain so you can't see what happens. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, and sure enough, there's Harry. And if you take a look, box is still closed up. Can you open that up? And inside is his lovely assistant, Bess, and you can give him a big hand. Thank you. Thank you. So I really like this trick. It's basically the substitution trunk, but done with small objects. And it's a copper-silver routine, like just doing a copper-silver routine in the gentleman's hand that we did before. But, you added a prop. You added the Aikido box. And I like the Aikido box, but not the way most people use the Aikido box. I just want to use it as a prop. So you've got 3 coins, and the coins are all stacked up. It's 2 copper and 1 silver, by the way. And they're stacked up in the Aikido box. So everything's all self-contained. This is all closed up. Okay? And we take that off, open this up. I drop all 3 coins into my hand. They see the copper coin on the outside. Well, let's just do that again. So they see the copper coin on the outside. And then as I put the box down, I just take the first 2, and I push them to my fingertips, and I let him examine everything. The box goes here. Now we're going to use a nice angle palm switch. Angle palm is a good move, and you could use it for a lot of things. So I take this $50, and I pretend to place the $50 on the box. But I really use an angle palm switch, which looks like this. I take this coin, and as I go to put it in the box, it just goes right up directly into angle palm. So you can do a classic, palm switch like David Roth does, but this is a lot easier. So the coin gets popped up, and then I just put this one right into the box. So from the front, I'm going to take the lid like this. Harry goes right into the box. Your hand looks very, very open. It's a really nice switch. But for you, I would turn it. I would take this, and I would put it in the box just like this. So we have it in the box. I then let this drop to the fingertips, to the finger palm rather, put this on there, and he would then examine that. Now I use another move, which is a nice changeover palm. A changeover palm is not used very much in magic, but what it is I pretend to put one coin from the left hand to the right, I'm secretly transferring a coin from the right to the left. which allows you to load up your hand. There are a lot of different ways to do it on the Encyclopedia of Coin Sites. I've got a lot of different ways of doing it. I really like this one. This one's really cool. We'll learn another one in a little bit. But I take this coin, and as I turn my hand over, this hand just comes palm up. Okay? So the left hand turns palm down, the right hand turns palm up. But you can't see that silver coin because I do it under the cover of the hand. Okay? Just like this. I put that in the hand, and I put this one that's under my fingers into the fingertips of the left hand. So it comes up like this, and then I push this one down, and I push this one into the fingers. And I put my thumb on the $half, and I put my thumb on the copper coin, and I just leave that here. So I've transferred one coin to the other. There's the silver coin, the copper coin. Transfer, put it on top. So now I've got this one in my hand. Now I say I'm going to use my hand as a curtain. So I put this into thumb palm as I put my hand over here. Okay? So my hand's like this. Now, I say on the count of 3, we're going to make her change places. And I go 1, 2, and on 3, what I do is I hit so there's no hesitation. But then I just take the coin with my second finger and pull it in, and I grab the coin from the thumb palm. So it's 1, 2, 3, and under the cover I just do this, grab that, and come out. Now I put this on my hand, and then I do the same changeover palm, get that into the other hand, and back again. He opens this up, it's all closed. He takes out the copper coin, everything's done. I then took these coins up, and put them with the other copper coin, and just put them all 3 back in the box. Trick is done, and you're set up to go again. This is the substitution trunk mystery. Are there any questions on this? Thank you. Thank you. All right. I love copper-silver tricks, and we're going to do something that uses a little bit of imagination. So I'd like to show you guys something with 2 empty hands, a little bit of magic, and your imagination. So imagine, if you would, if I take a coin out of the air and I hold it just like this. Now it's silver, about the size of a $half, with a heads on one side and a tails on the other. You may not be able to see it too well unless I rub it into existence, just like that. I can take that coin and rub it on my sleeve, but it vanishes from there and reappears over here. Or I can take that and rub it on my other sleeve, and it vanishes from there and reappears over here. But you got to be careful not to rub it too hard, because if you do, it sometimes vanishes. But it never goes too far, because you can pluck another coin out of the air just like that, and if you rub it on your sleeve, it comes back into existence. But you got to be careful not to rub a coin the wrong way, because if you do, sometimes if you rub it the wrong way, it changes to copper. Now I can make that coin change from copper to silver to copper and back to silver. Now I don't always have to rub the coin. I can just cast a shadow over the coin and it changes again. But you got to be careful not to rub a coin the wrong way, because if you do, it doesn't change from copper to silver, silver to copper. It actually sometimes will change to Chinese with a hole right in the center. Now that you probably didn't expect. You're probably thinking I would use a copper coin and change it into a silver coin, just like that. But be careful not to rub it too hard, because if you do, you can actually rub it out of existence, which leaves me only 2 empty hands, a little bit of magic, and your imagination. Thank you. So, as you can see, I'm not holding anything back. This is a new effect. It's a nice 3-way spellbound. It uses some really clean techniques, and it's a real fooler. I also want to say one thing about spellbound. Spellbound is the change of a color from one coin to another, or change of a type of coin from one coin to another. But you know, when you see people doing this, they're changing the coins from copper to silver, silver to copper. But that's it. When you think about a trick, what do you have in a trick? You have a beginning, a middle, and an end. So the beginning, for me, is a production of a coin. The middle is the color change. And the end is a vanish, or a production of a third coin, or a vanish again. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but it's got to have consistency. It's got to be a complete routine. Otherwise, you're just doing the middle. So the color changes that you see a lot of people doing are just, you know, digital masturbation, if you want to call it that. They're just changing the coins for 25 different ways. People are going to get bored. You've already established that you can change the color of the coin. So if you keep going, you're just basically showing your audience that you have a lot of skill, but you're not doing magic anymore, because it gets a little boring and they just see that you're just keep doing different changes. You don't have to, so just change the coin a few times. Now this is a really nice routine because it uses 2 of my favorite concealments. One of them we talked about, JW grip. The other one is Nowhere Palm, which is invented by Jeffrey Latta. Nowhere Palm came about, it's really kind of a cool idea. Back in the 70s, David Roth was doing edge grip by holding the coins between the thumb and the second finger and was holding a coin here. So it looked like the coin was, well, let's see, just put a coin here so you could see that. So your hand was very empty except for just, one coin. That's a great concealment. So he used it for his hanging coins routine. Jeffrey Latta wanted to do the same routine, but he wanted to fool the magicians in the know. So what he did was he held the coins instead of there, he held it with his third finger, just like this. And so it's a third finger curl palm, essentially. And he was able to do hanging coins thinking that he had the coin there, but then he'd open his fingers and fool the magicians. But it turns out it's a great concealment, and there's a lot of things that you could do with it. So this trick uses 3 coins, a copper coin, a silver coin, and a old Chinese coin. Now, these are real old coins. The copper and silver coin are very, very smooth. This is a real Chinese coin, not one of the store ones, although you can use, obviously, a store one, and sometimes maybe they're even smoother. This is a Queen Victorian English penny, and I like it because it's very, very dark, and that gives good contrast. This is a Barber half dollar, and it's very, very interesting and old. And what I like about the Barber half dollars, which is why I use them, in addition to being smooth or worn, which is one of the reasons why I like them, because you can do a lot of moves with them, it's still kind of like a coin that we're used to. It's got a head on the front, and it's got an eagle on the back. So people are more used to these than, let's say, the Standing Liberty, which have 2 different types of designs on the back, and they look more foreign to a person. The English penny gives good contrast. It's the same size, and again, there's a queen on the front, and on the back there's a little person standing up. But there's a lot of good contrast here. When you get the shiny English pennies and shiny half dollars, and the light hits in a certain way, you can't tell the difference. So I really like using these for the contrast. The Chinese coin also has to be the right size. There are a lot of different real Chinese coins out there, and they all are slightly different in size. So there's some that are a little bigger than a half dollar, some that are a little smaller than a half dollar. If you're going to use a real one, you got to find one that's the right size. This one has a little horse on the back, so you might be able to find that in a coin store. I got this in Singapore, so I don't think you're going to all go to Singapore, but you can probably find them on eBay. And the way the coins are stacked up is you've got a silver coin, then the Chinese coin, then the copper coin. Now, I used to do this trick where I'd start with the coins in nowhere palm, but I think that the open display of JW grip is much cleaner. So the coins start with the half dollar on top, then the Chinese coin, then the English penny. And I say I'm going to do a trick with 2 empty hands, and as I do that, I flip this into JW grip as I go like this, and I say 2 empty hands, but I'm not posing. The longer you stay here, the longer people are going to start suspecting your hands. So 2 empty hands, a little bit of magic, and your imagination. And when I do that, I then put my thumb on these coins and I kind of rotate them so they're held like this. So they're only there for the display. Then I bring them back into my hand like this. So that's a more natural position. Now I say I'm going to grab an imaginary coin and I'm going to place it into my hand, and I go back into JW grip. Now I have a reason to pose because I'm holding something in my fingers. Say there's a coin about the size of a half dollar, silver on one side, tails on one side, heads on the other. But you won't see it until you rub it into existence. At that point, I take my thumb and bring them back, and I turn it over like this, and then I rub, pushing the silver coin to the tips of my fingers. Okay? And I've got the other coins sitting now in finger palm. I now pretend to take this coin, but under the cover of my hand, I just put my second finger on the coin and bring it into my hand, like this. Okay? So I go like this, and I pretend to rub this coin on my elbow, but I produce it from over here, being careful not to show the other coins. I then put these over here, and I pretend to take the coin, but all I do is I put my thumb on it, and I pretend to take it, and as I do that, I grab these coins with the thumb. So I come like this. These are in finger palm, but I grab the coins and I pull them up. This is what people have called the Mrpl2 holding position, and I pretend to take the coin. So now the coins are in that Mrpl2 holding position with nothing at my fingertips, the coin's over here. So I do this, rub. So now I could open my hand and it looks pretty empty because those coins are now off the fingertips, off the fingers, and I produce the coin over here. Put them back, from here I put them back into finger palm, and I do the ROPS move, okay, sliding this coin as I come out, sliding it silently onto the other coins. You've got to do it silently, or if you hear coins, it's going to ruin it. So you've got to be careful not to rub it too hard, and I come over here as I slide, because then the coin goes out of existence. As I do that, I take these coins, which are here, and I put them into nowhere palm. Put my thumb here, and I just maneuver the coins so they're held into that third finger curl palm. Now, by the way, some of these positions may be new to you, but they're not difficult. It just takes practice to get them in and get them out. If you're doing cards and you're doing a double lift, right, it's not that easy. You got to practice it. Got to practice everything. But you can practice the coins. You can walk around with, you're not going to walk around with a card palm, but you're going to walk around with coins palm like this, and you'll get used to that feeling. So this is a really nice position, and you get into it like this. And then after I make this coin vanish, boom, boom, put it on those fingers, come over like this, which hides the move. The big move of this hides the move of me taking these coins and putting them into nowhere palm. So from here, I come over across the hands, nowhere palm them, and come over like this. And I open my hand. Nowhere palm, the coins are hidden like that. From the front, it looks good. And some people really can get a nice burn of the palm when they do the move, okay? You just got to watch your angles. I'm not as adventurous, so I'll just kind of shoot my hand out like that. But it's just for a second. Okay, but I say to make another one come back, you grab another coin, hold it like that. So now you got your fingers here, like Jeffrey Latta had when he was doing his edge grip thing, but there's nothing there. And then as I go to rub them, I'll turn these coins over, and I'll rub it on my sleeve and make the coin pop out and put it right here. Okay, now I've got two coins here, and I'm going to say, you never want to rub a coin too hard, because if you do, you're going to make a change from silver to copper. And these two coins just go along together, and I put them on top of the silver coin, which drops to the fingers, and I leave them there. And I close my hand so you really can't see the Chinese coin. The copper coin is dark, and it really covers the Chinese coin well, and it really looks from the front. Even if you come a little bit to the side, it's hard to see. So you can really get a good look of the silver to copper. Now, I'm going to use a steel back of Ken Krenzel's to take the silver coin and put it back on top. Taught in the Encyclopedia of Coin Sleights. So for those who don't know the moves, you can got to get it. It's a lot of stuff in there. I push with the thumb on the coin and push it out of that position and push it against the first finger of the right hand and snap it back and then come back as I take these coins away. So hands like this, push on the coin, comes out, grab it like that, come away, the other coins are there. One more time, we change it, come out, and that's very, very nice. You could also show your hand like this. These coins are now in thumb palm. Okay, can everyone see that? I now bring my hand over the coin and drop that to the base of the fingers and leave the silver coin there. Leave the copper coin and the Chinese coin there. The silver coin drops to the base of the fingers. And then I do the steel back again. So I change it from silver to copper, back to silver, and then I do a wave change, which we learned in the first Penguin lecture, but this is really a nice move. The coins are in thumb palm, and by the way, you'll see some of the other guys doing this in their spellbound routines with no credit. It's called the wave change, came up for me. As I come over, my hand's going to basically do this, okay? So from the side, I come over like this. At this point, I drop that coin, the silver coin, to the base of my left fingers, and I grab the two coins. And then your thumb is stuck, right? Your thumb is stuck. So I just kind of twist the wrist so I can get this thumb out, and then I just come down like this. So it looks from the front like you're just waving over. Now it's just a wrist thing. You're not doing this. You're not doing this. Okay? So show the coin there. Wrist. Come up a little bit so they can see the coin and come down. That's it. Now you're in the position you just never rub the coin too hard because it doesn't always change from copper to silver, silver to copper. But you rub on the coin, and what you do is you just put your fingers over the copper coin and pull it away, leaving the Chinese coin. This stays in finger palm. And then grab the Chinese coin. You got the silver coin in the left hand, copper coin finger palmed, and you show this here. That you weren't expecting. You were expecting the Chinese coin. You were expecting a copper coin. And what I do is the slide move, which we also learned in the first Penguin lecture. The slide move is a really cool way of putting one coin behind the other, and this is how you do it. You extend the first finger, that goes behind the coin, and you push the other one out. It's almost like a fidget move, like, you would expect someone just fooling around with coins and doing it, and that's actually how I came up with it. I was just fooling around with the coins like that. I realized, wait, this is a move. So you got the coin here, you put it behind the other coin, and then you pull that one out. So the patter is, well, there's a Chinese coin. Now that you probably weren't expecting. You were probably expecting that hides the slide move. You're probably expecting a copper coin. And you can use Jeffrey Lotta's fidget move where you just turn the coin around like that by grabbing it with the first finger and the thumb of the right hand, and the second finger goes behind the coin and just turns it around. That looks very, very nice. Gives your hand the appearance of being empty. You're expecting a copper coin or a silver coin. And I go in there, and just like we did before, I just grab it with the second finger, and you do this under the cover. And as I do that to display this coin, which is on the finger here, I just kind of drag it onto the Chinese coin. You pull that back, and then you do the Mrpl2 move again, and you put it on the other coins as this hand opens. Okay? And then you swing your hands into nowhere palm. So this is kind of challenging. So it's 1, Mrpl2, come over, make the motion, and boom. So it goes from the Mrpl2 position onto the other coins, and then when you make this move like this, these coins now go into nowhere palm, and I go, leaving me nothing more with 2 empty hands, a little bit of magic, and your imagination. And that's it. Thank you. Now that's a very, very difficult but really nice and it's very practical, meaning that it's not juggling, because I don't like coin juggling, but it's not easy. It's because there are a lot of different moves there. But I think if you take the time to learn it, you'll have a real winner on your hands. Are there any questions? Okay, well, that's great. Thank you. All right, let's see. This is kind of cool. You know, magic, I've been doing a lot of sleight of hand for people. And for some people, magic is really good sleight of hand. For a child, though, magic is maybe making a wish and hoping that wish comes true. And when I was a kid, I used to make wishes. There was a wishing well behind the school that I used to go to. And I'd go to the wishing well and I'd make a wish. So I'd wish for a portable radio. I'd wish for a brand new bicycle. And I'd wish for a date with Karen during Greekia. I did. And when I got older, I went back to that wishing well and I wished for other things. I wished for an iPod. I wished for a brand new Maserati. And I wished for a date with Karen during Greekia. The money to buy those things, to take a beautiful woman out to dinner. And money I did not have. But if we use our imagination, we can make believe that my hand is that wishing well. So if I close my hand into a fist and I make a wish, out of that wishing well I can produce a solid silver coin. If I turn my hand into a wishing well and I make a wish, out of that wishing well I can get a solid silver coin. And if I make my hand into a wishing well and I make a wish, out of that wishing well I can get a solid silver coin. If I make my hand into a wishing well and I make a wish, out of that wishing well I can get a solid silver coin. Now, that's not enough for an iPod, certainly not enough for down payment on a car. But who says wishes don't come true? After this lecture, I'm heading back to New York to see my wife, Karen, during Greekia. Thank you. So I actually taught a version of this in the first Penguin lecture. And I said I have a student who's a big beginner, you know, really starting out with coins. And I thought that it was pretty easy the way I did it the first time. But he couldn't do it. He couldn't get it. And I realized maybe it was more difficult than I thought. And that bothered me because I really thought I made it easy. So I remember just, you know, going to sleep one night thinking about, geez, he just can't do it. And it just hit me. There's an easier way to do it. And it's this move right here. And it's not difficult at all. You all should be able to do it. This uses the old worn barber coins. And the reason I use these worn smooth coins is because they don't make any noise. That's really important. You can use regular coins that are sharper. If you use Kennedy half dollars, these are more soft, but these make noise. These probably, you could hear that. But, you know, these don't make any noise, and that helps. So I start out with the coins in nowhere palm, and I'm just talking and just gesturing occasionally, just like this. Now, I point over here, and what I do is I put them on the tips of my fingers. And as I close my hand with the open part of the thumb toward me. And then I just stick the whole group, that whole 4 coins, I just put my thumb in there and I stick it in there and I pull 1 coin out. Okay? So I close my hand to a fist. This hides things. Pull 1 coin out. Then grab the coins like this, flip them over. These are just in finger palm. Put that down. Point here. These coins stay on the tips of the fingers. Close my hand in. I put all the coins in there and pull 1 out. Same move. You could also do this if you want. Point here. Close my hand to a fist in front of the coins, make the move, pull out another one. Okay, 1 coin left. close your hand, turn your hand over, put it in there, and then take it out. So to put it in, it's just that, but I'm doing it from here so you can't see anything. If it was like this, you'd see more, but it's from here, and I just roll it out. So I get the 4-coin production, and it's really easy to do. So this is something that I think anybody can do. And as I said, you can use regular coins that aren't so soft, but I think you got to be more careful. This one, they really don't make noise, and you have a lot of room for error. And again, you're just using your hand to hide you putting the coins in. Now, using a production like this where 4 coins are going in and 3 coins are going in, that's been done before, but I don't think it's ever been done in this type of context. So I love the patter. The patter kind of brings you in, has an emotional part to it. And it's not difficult, and it's a nice way of producing 4 coins. Are there any questions on that? Can I do it with the noisy coins?
The question is, can you do it with coins that make more noise?
Well, these are regular clad $half, so you got to be careful. But so you just got to be more careful. But you can.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we have a question up front here.
Yes.
Do you use any lubrication or anything on your hands so the coins don't slip?
That's a really good question. When it's cool out, or when you have really good air conditioning on, your hands really dry up. So I use a product which I mentioned in the first Penguin lecture. It's an animal product, and it's a moisturizer for the skin. It's basically glycerin and water, but it's very, very liquid instead of being creamy. And I just put a little bit of that on my hand, and that works out really well. There are other people that use stuff, but that makes my hands a little more tacky, so I have some grip. In the summer, now this is the interesting part, my hands, like even now, they're starting to get kind of sticky, and that could be a problem because sometimes the coins won't move the way you want them. So if I'm performing, and I know, let's say I'm doing a convention, I got to do 4 shows, and it's really hot sometimes under the lights, I'll carry a towel with me that's half wet and half dry. So just before going on, I'll use the wet part and then dry my hands. And so for like the next 10 minutes, my hands have no stickiness at all. And that's really great because then I could do the moves, especially with their sliding. Sometimes you like the tackiness because it really helps the coins to stick when you have to do it. And sometimes it's a disadvantage. So depending on what you're going to do, you got to know what you're going to do and what you need. And if you need to, you can use the towel, the water. That works out really well. Just half a washcloth, a little wet, and the other half dry. Or you can, go into the bathroom and wash your hands, and that'll work for a little while. But if you have that with you, if you're performing, you just keep it down next to you, and you can just quickly clean your hands off. Anybody else? Wow, this is great. You guys are great. Okay, you're getting it all. So let's see. Oh, geez. Let me have somebody. Let's see what we're going to do. Let me have somebody come right over here. This is something that's interesting. Hi. What's your name?
Andy.
Andy, hey, Mike. So I'd like to show you something that's very interesting. I got this from the U.S. Mint. This is something that not many people see. These are what we call pre-production coins. These are coins that have never been minted. They've never been struck. Take a look at them. They are totally blank. They have no face on the front. They have no tails on the back. They have no date of birth and no country of origin. They are truly embryonic coins. You know what that means? That means that these coins could become any coins at all. And I have some coins here from my collection that we're going to use to do something, which I think will be kind of cool. So I have 3 coins here. I have an old Chinese coin, an old English coin, very old, and I have an old 1914 silver barber coin. We're going to use these coins to imprint something on the blank coins. Let me hold this here. Let me take this copper coin and put it on my hand. Now, about the time that it takes to develop a Polaroid picture, I think we can imprint an image of that right on the coin. And sure enough, it looks pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah, you'd almost believe. Let me take the second coin, hold it here. Let me take the silver barber coin and place it on the hand. About the time that it takes for a chameleon to change its color, we can try and imprint the image of that right on the coin. And sure enough, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? It does. Okay. Now, the Chinese coin has a hole in it. I don't know if that'll work, but we'll try it. Place it on there, and we'll give it, I don't know, maybe a couple more seconds. And, I could feel it happening. Sure enough, we have the Chinese coin. Looks exactly like the Chinese coin. So that's pretty good. So far, we've been able to put an image on the Chinese coin, on the silver coin, and on the copper coin. You do me a favor and just hold on to these with your, it just doesn't matter. Close your hand really tight around them. Perfect. Now, you got to remember, that we just put an image on the coin. That's not really the way that these coins are minted. These coins have never been minted. They've never been struck. And that's the only true way to get an image on the coin. We actually did what we did was more of an illusion. So I'm going to place these coins back in the purse. As they fade, as the images fade from our mind, they also fade from the coins. So if you take a look, you should have now the 3 blank coins. Thank you. So this is like a wild coin routine, and I got the idea because in the 80s I did a series of tricks. I think it was on the Knockout Coin Magic series. There were videos put out by Videonics, and they became an LNL thing. And there was a routine where I hypnotized the audience, and I made 3 coins change into 3 different coins. But it uses gimmick coins, and it was sitting down, and I wasn't that happy with the routine. And I didn't do anything with it until David Roth came up with his blank coin routine, which is a great routine, and it's on the New York Coin Magic Seminar DVDs. And at the beginning, Dan said he wasn't sure if they were available. They're still out there, and they're now being sold pretty much as box sets through our website or through one of the other magic. I don't know if I'm allowed to say who's it, but if you look, you'll find them.
Yeah. You can say.
I could say Vanishing Ink has them as downloads and as box sets. So if you're looking for 225 coin tricks on 30-something hours of magic, all coin magic, from guys like myself, David Roth, Mike Gallo, Jeffrey Latta, Bertini, Eric Jones, Kainoa Harbottle, Jean-Emmanuel Frances, Eric DeCamps, Bob Fitch, Mark D'Souza, Dan Watkins. Geez, there's so many guys. I'm sure I'm missing some of them. But there are there's great magic on there. And the guys that were really in charge of doing that was myself, Mike Gallo, David Roth. Jeff Latta was there at the beginning, and then he passed away. But it was a really, really good series of magic, and there's everything there. I think Bill Wells called it the Bobo for the 21st century. So really, if you get a chance to take a look at them, there's a lot of magic there. Anyway, David Roth had on that DVD the blank coin routine, and that kind of hit me. And I said, what a great idea. If I could do my mass hypnosis routine with the blank coins, I can come up with a really nice routine, and that's how this evolved. So I'm using the 3 blank coins, and these I got on eBay. I don't know, you just look for $50 blank coins. They're like slugs, $50 size. And then I also have 6 other coins. This is like an old Goshman Chinese coin, which is gold. This is a 1914 Barber $50. This is an old Queen Victorian English penny. And then you have to match them. I'm not sure what type of coin matches the English penny, but there's one that matches it. I don't know the English coins that much, but you can find them in coin stores. This is a 1914 Barber quarter, and that matches the $50. And this is an old Feng Shui coin, or whatever you call a Feng Shui, and that matches the Goshman coin, so it's gold. So the way they're set up in the purse, so you have the 3 of those coins. You have them in copper on top of the silver on top of the Chinese, and between them you have the 3 copper on top of the silver on top of the Chinese. So they're in the purse all like that. So I open the purse, I take out the 3 blank coins, and he examines them. And then I say, I'm going to take out the other coins from my collection. So I just grab the whole bunch out, and I just push the little ones to the fingertips. So the other ones just stay in finger palm. And I explain what each one is. Now we use the slide move. We just learned the slide move. So this is a pretty easy and good move to use. I take this. I've got 3 coins here. I take this coin, and as I close my hand to a fist, I just put it behind the other coins, okay, silently. I put the English penny there, the copy of the English penny. I take this off, and I just slide this one to my fingertips. Take the second blank coin, put it behind the stack, and you're doing it like this, extending the second and first finger. The thumb pushes it behind, like you would if you had to get it behind there. This is how you would come up with it. That's why it's so nice. You take this, put it on here, and then when you take that off, you push this one to the fingertips. Okay? So now you have another one. This one here goes into the hand same way. Okay? So from this part, goes into the stack. You close your hand like this. And then you push this one out, and from this side, take this off, push it to the fingertips. It matches. You can even do the fidget move, put that down. Now I pick this one up, pick up this one, and I pick up this one, and I use that same move that we used before where I pretend to, this is what I call pistol grip technology because it looks like a pistol. I put my thumb on these, and I turn my hand over, allowing the blank coins, can you see that? Allowing the blank coins to drop into my hand, and these go into finger palm as I give these to him to hold. So These are like this. You there? Drop those. These go into finger palm. Okay? He holds onto these. As he's holding to them, these now go into nowhere palm. I pick these coins up, and they're like this, and then I put them against my fingers and push the nowhere palm coins on top of them. So I've got a stack now. I now open this up, and I put the whole stack away. And I say, as they fade from our minds, they fade from the coins. So he opens his hand, shows the 3 blank coins, and I just put them back in here. And I'm done. And that's the blank coin routine. Thank you. Thank you. All right. And we got a lot more. We got a lot more. Yes?
Do we have a microphone here? Yeah. Thanks.
You use the current coin purse. Is that how you store them always, or when
Yes.
you
I have like 20 different coin purses with different coins, so they're set up for each individual trick that I'm going to do. This way I can carry them around and I know which purse has which trick, so I'm ready to go. If I'm right now in a lecture, I've got everything out on the table, but I loaded my pockets with what I need, so then I could pull it out and I could begin. But that's kind of how I work. Good question, though, because you got to know how to carry the coins around. And later we're going to have a lesson in pocket management, because I think that's really important. All right, shall we move on?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. One of my favorite holidays is New Year's Eve. And it's not because of the dancing, the champagne, the dinner. It's because I get to go home and watch my favorite show, the Twilight Zone Marathon. And it's on the Sci-Fi Channel. It lasts for a couple of days. It's a great show. And my favorite show is on at like 3:30 in the morning. It's that story about George Midas. I don't know if you guys ever saw it. But, it's so good, I'm going to actually talk you through it. So imagine, if you would, it's Old England. And there's a guy shining shoes. And he's shining the shoes of Rod Serling, who goes, "Case in point. One George Midas, shoeshine boy. A man who never had an even break in his life until he received a golden opportunity to enter the Twilight Zone." And there was George shining shoes, but at the end of the day, he took a look into his cup, and he didn't do very well. 4 old copper coins, not even enough to buy his evening's meal, and he realized that once again he'd have to go home hungry and think about the poverty he lived in. And he picked up one of these old coins, old and dusty, and he took a piece of dust off the coin. But when he looked back, that coin had changed to gold, solid gold. He couldn't believe his eyes. He didn't know what had happened, but he realized that all of a sudden he had money and he would be able to pay back all of his back rent. He put that coin away and he picked up the second coin, old and dusty, and he touched that coin as well. And when he looked at that coin, he realized that it had changed to gold, solid gold. As he put that coin away, he started to think about now that he could buy clothes for his wife and children. He took the third coin and wondered what would happen if he touched it. And he touched that coin, and just like the others, that coin changed to gold, solid gold. Again, he realized that now he had enough money to buy food for a month. And he looked on the table and he saw he had just one more coin. And he wondered what would happen. Could the magic happen one more time? So he took that coin and he squeezed. When he looked back, that coin had changed to gold, solid gold. At that point, he realized he had the power and the wealth. And now he was going to use that power and wealth to get back at the people who put him into his misery. But at that very moment, that cold coin changed to copper. And as he took a look into his tip cup, he realized that all the magic was fleeting, because all the coins had changed back to copper. And as the scene closed, you could hear Rod Serling say, "Yes, George Midas, a man with a true gift, a real Midas touch. But gifts used for the wrong reasons can also be taken back to the refund counters that are found in the Twilight Zone." Thank you. Thank you. So this here is one of my babies. I've been doing this trick for 30-something years. It appeared on the Knockout Coin Magic series that I did back in the 80s. And for those guys who have the first Penguin lecture, there's a streamlined version of this which uses a purse, which is what I've been doing for a long time, because carrying the cup around is a little difficult. But the cup makes the trick play bigger. So you can use it for a bigger audience. And that's why I use the cup. So the purse is great for table hopping. And if you go back to the first Penguin lecture, you'll see that version. Same basic pattern, but done with 3 coins in a purse. This plays bigger, and it's really very, very clever and very, very clean, the display. So let's talk about it. So we're using 4 old copper coin. These are the old Queen Victoria English pennies. And we're using an old, not so old, but a copper cup. It gives that more authenticity. This is just a chop cup. You can find a cup like this also in one of the glass stores. You can find something similar. Or you can use a cup from the Cups and Balls. What I did to the bottom, though, is that's where I'm hiding a gold-plated old coin. And I've got fun tack on the bottom. This is the same fun tack that I used 30 years ago. See, this stuff stays. This is good stuff. And I protect it by keeping a silver dollar on it so it keeps it sticky. It doesn't dry out. But things stick to it, and there's no residue. It's really nice. They have all sorts of different types of handy tack, stay tack, fun tack, and it's all over the world. So you can find this in any hardware store. Staples has it, anywhere. I found it at my local Rite Aid, so you can buy it anywhere. And so I put it in there, and that's what we're going to use to hide the silver coin. So the coin starts out in finger palm. These start out in the glass. And I just pour them out onto my hand and put them on the table one at a time. Now, the first move is a standard spellbound move. I hold that with the tips of my first and second fingers and the thumb of the left hand. I've got the gold coin in finger palm of my right hand. Put my thumb on the coin, and I bring my hand over the copper coin under the cover. I drop the copper coin to the base of the left fingertips and put the gold coin in its place and come away. But when I do it, I say I'm taking a piece of dust off the coin, so I do this. And I look back now, and it's gold. And I move it around like this to catch the light, and you can really see a difference between the dark coins and this. Now, I pretend to place this into my other hand, and what I do is I just turn my hand over, allowing that finger palm coin to fall into the other hand. This one I never let go of. But from the front, it looks like I'm just putting that in my hand. Then as I come away, I allow that to fall into finger palm. Okay? So roll it into my hand. And you got to be careful not to turn your hand over, because if you turn your hand over like this, they hear a noise, and that ruins the effect. So roll it over. It falls into finger palm. Put that into the cup. This goes back to my fingers. I now use another changeover palm, like we talked about earlier. I take this coin and I pretend to place it into spellbound position. This is right from the Encyclopedia of Coin Sleights, guys, so go back and look if you haven't learned these moves. This hand comes up. This hand turns down. But I put this now not like against the fingers, but into this weird position, and I grab it with my thumb. So that's not really a spellbound position, but it hides me turning this hand over, and this doesn't get pressed against the fingers like before. It just gets held in a horizontal position. So I grab this. Now this coin is here, and I just grab it with the thumb, and I push it against the fingers. It doesn't matter where I grab that coin, but I come over like this, and the coin is here, and I just grab it and come away. So I don't care where I grab it. I just grab it, and it come away. So it looks like this, and I grab the coin and come away. Now this coin's in a funny position. Okay, but as I come away, I turn my hand over and I fix that and I put it into spellbound position. So this is called the spellbound changeover palm. I now do the same move where I put this finger on that coin and I turn my hand over and I come over like this and I drop that to the base of my fingers. Boom. Put this coin here and come away, and it's changed again, and roll that in. Now we start to differ from the way I did it 30 years ago. I'd used a move, and I'll show it at the end just so you see it, because it's a move that other people have used without credit to me. But I wanted, the problem with the move was it had a bad angle on the left, and I wanted this to be more angle proof. So I just do this now. I hold the coin like this, so it's not like in this position, it's like this. Put my thumb on the gold coin, and I move my hand over, and like a Ramsey, I just let that coin drop to the base of my fingers. Okay, so from here, I just let it drop. And I replace it with this coin. So it looks like I'm just touching the coin, and it changes to gold. But what I'm really doing is dropping that and putting this one here and coming away. Now, to show my hand empty, I pretend to place this into, well, I place this into spellbound position, but not before I drop the finger palm coin onto the finger of my left hand. So I do this. I come over. Now, the fingers are over the other hand. I drop that to the, it's hard to do slow. I drop it onto my fingers like that, and then I grab the gold coin. So it looks like this. From here, drop, and put that in position. So there's kind of a, you got to go back and forward, but it really doesn't look like you're doing anything than just putting it in your hand. So it changes to gold. Boom, done. And this way you see both hands empty. And now roll it over, come back, drop that in. Of course, when you're dropping, your fingers are in the cup, so when you drop it, they don't see the dark coin going in. I now use the same move that we've used before. I pretend to take the coin, but I just put this on the second finger and let go. So I do this, and as I come over here, this coin pops into this position and then into JW. Okay, this is also a new part. So I take this coin, go like this, open, pop it into JW as I take this coin, and I now show my hands very, very empty. Take the coin, turn my hand over so it's palm up, grab the coin with the thumb and the first finger, turn my hand over, this JW grip coin goes back into finger palm. So from here, okay, there, I go like that. So here we are. Take this, boom, boom, boom. And I show that it's, it's gold. Now, this is really a nice move. It's based on Saul Stone's slap change. I'm going to actually pretend to place this on the back of my hand, but I'm going to switch it for the copper coin. In Saul's original move, as he does that, he puts this into thumb palm and then slaps the finger palm coin onto his hand. So it would look like this. And that coin is there. But I didn't want the coin to be seen. I wanted my hands to look very, very empty. So remember, there's nothing in my left hand. And I do the same move, but I have my hand not like this, but like this, tilted downward, and I tap, which puts the gold coin right over that little hole that's in the left hand, created between the fingers and the thumb, and I drop that coin in there, just like this. So here's the coin. Drop it in there. Now straighten out your hand and come away, and you show your hand looking empty, and this hand, which was empty, is now holding the gold coin in finger palm. Okay, can everybody see that? I'll do it one more time. Boom, come away. Okay, the coin is now in the left hand in finger palm. I drop this in, move that onto the fingers. Okay, and I pick up the cup below the cup, so only the thumb and the first finger hold the cup, and I lift it up, and as I put it onto my hand, this hand opens up, and I stick that coin right onto the fun tack, and I put my thumb on top. I go like this. So now I can spill these coins out of the cup. My hands look very, very empty. And as I put them away, I give the story that Rod Serling says that the gifts are now taken away to the refund counters of the Twilight Zone, and you're empty. Are there any questions on this? Thank you. Thank you. I will show you the move I used originally for the third coin, and that was where I've got the copper coin like this, and I wave my hand over it, and it changes to gold, solid gold. So this is the move I used to use, but the angle is bad on that side. So what I'm doing here is I have this gold coin here, like in the fingers here on the left hand, between the thumb, first and second finger. My hand's like this. Under the cover, I use the second finger, push that under the thumb, so like this, and I can grab the coin. I guess I could do it this way better. And so the coin from the front looks like that. Now, some of you may recognize this as where you're in the hand, and you're putting the coin here, closing it, and opening it. So now you know where the move came from, okay? Did this in the 80s. So the old move used to be this, but the angle here is bad because you have that exposed. But the nice thing about it is from the front and the right, it looks really good. And if you place this into your hand, you can drop the English penny onto the fingertips, grab that, and come away like this. So your hands look very, very clean, and that's the same move. So that's really a nice move. Are there any questions on this routine? Well, great, thank you. All right. Let's see. Let's see what we'll do next. Are you guys computer literate? Because I'm not. I mean, there's just so many things going around. My parakeet knows how to tweet. My duck has a website, but not me. No, I don't know anything about computers. Although there's a new movie that's coming out. It's a remake of The Wizard of Oz done using computers. Really, it's really a cool movie. And in that movie, Glinda tells Dorothy to right-click or reboot 3 times, saying all the time, "There's no place like my homepage." Now, I don't even know what that means. I mean, I tried to do my banking online, and I went down to the bank and stood online for about an hour. Waste of my time. But while I was there, one of the tellers got fired. She got fired for stealing. Now, I don't think it was really her fault, because every time she wanted to take a break, they told her to take 5. So, I don't know. It just didn't seem fair. But while I was there, I actually got... Well, actually, let me get this out of the way. That shouldn't still be there. Let's see. I got these 2 coins at the teller, and these are clad $half. And I don't usually use clad $half, but I saw them there and I had to get them. And I noticed something very, very interesting, that clad $half can actually hold and maintain a static electric charge. They can. Quarters and dimes are also clad, but they're too small to maintain a charge. You know how like when you rub your feet against the carpet, your hair stands on end? Well, with the $half are just the right size, and this can happen. So let me see. If I rub this on my sleeve, and rub this on my sleeve, if I can actually try and get a charge. Let me see if that worked. Yeah, look at that. That's a pretty good charge. Let me make it a little stronger. So I'm going to rub it a little harder and a little harder. And let's see. Whoa, they really are jumping. Look at that. Oh my God, look at this. That's really strong. I can't even separate them. My goodness, that's really strong. There's actually one way to separate them, though. There is. And I have it in my pocket, something that, wrong pocket. Got it over here. This is what they call a miniature flamethrower, also known as a portable s'mores maker, also known as an organic flashlight. I actually had a heavier model, but now they make it a little lighter. And you can use this to break the bonds. So let me see if that works. So just hold it over there and wait, there it goes, there it goes, there it goes. Yep. And they separate just like that. Thank you. So this is a cool trick, and I actually put this trick out years ago in the early 80s. God, I've been around a long time. I marketed this trick in Europe. It was 2 coins and a magnet, and it was a booklet, a sleight of hand booklet, and I actually used a piece of fun tack to hold the coins together, that sticky stuff that we used in another routine. And I remember showing this to Michael Weber at the first New York Coin Magic Symposium. Not Coin Magic, the first New York Magic Symposium was a big magic convention in New York. And he liked the routine, and he said, you should solder those coins together. And I said, nah, I want the coins to look like they're stuck together because they can move with the fun tack. And then later on I realized, he was right. So I came up with another routine using soldered coins. Some people call it, a Siamese coin gimmick. Mike Gallo did a lot of work with that. But they're just 2 coins soldered together. And I did a routine on the New York Coin Magic Seminar where I did the same routine, but I ditched the gaff using either a pocket or my waistband. And it was a little convoluted, and it was hard to get the coins in there, and I didn't look natural. So I went back and I kind of figured out a nice, more practical routine, and that's what this is. So this is in your pocket. This is on your fingertips with 1 coin, the coin that's, I guess, well, let's see how to describe that. The top coin would be closest to the fingers, while the other coin is further away, and that's against the fingers like this. So the bottom coin is the one that's further out. And I'm holding that in finger palm. And I take these 2 coins and I talk about how they can hold and maintain a static electric charge. Then I rub them in my hands, and I do a move which is really, really nice. And this is the move that's been around since I marketed that first trick in the early 80s. Other people are doing it. They may not know whose it is, but now you know. I take the coins and I kind of hold them close together. And what I do is I press it against my nail and I push, and it just goes around the nail and hits. You can make believe like you're sticking them, but it looks so much more natural when you're doing it like this. It looks like the coins are really sticking together. Now it's under your finger, so I pull back, and you got a little bit of hesitation because it's under the nail, and I pull. So it looks like it's really coming with force. You can fake that, but it looks more natural when you do it like that. So that looks pretty good. Now I say I'm going to do it again, and I come over here to rub, but what I do on this hand is I use the slide move. These moves keep coming up. I put this coin behind the other coin and push this one out. So now I have the bigger coin out there, and I'm doing that while I'm doing this. Now I'm using Kainoa Harbottle's take on Curtis Cam's move. So this is the move. I can't do it the way Kainoa does it. Curtis Cam does it a little differently. Kainoa actually brought it up to the chest level, and I can't do it his way. So what I do, and I'm going to show it like this, is I push the coin with my second finger. My second fingernail is getting under there, and I push, and the coin goes like that. So let me... Okay, so you can get a good, push. That's what you're doing. So doing it like this, you can push it right into the fingers, and it looks like it's really being attracted. And what you're doing is you're just pushing it into the fingers, and you're catching it, okay? So that's what it looks like. So you did this, and you come over like that, and now you pull this away. These stay in finger palm, and you toss this up in the air. They're really fused. You could have people examine this. As they're looking at, well, what I do is I put this into JW grip, and I come over here and I pretend to pull them apart first, but I got a really good display where my hands look very, very empty, and I have the coins in JW grip. So I toss this up in the air as I put these coins into JW grip, and I come over like this, can't separate them. Now I can have somebody to look at it. As I do that, these go back from JW, go back into finger palm. I now say I'm going to go into my pocket and take something out to separate them. And what I do is I put this into my other hand. I kind of lift these coins like the Mrpl2 holding position, put that underneath. I now show this hand empty, okay? So my hand is empty, and I go into my pocket. There's nothing there. I go, wait a minute. And I go, and I take the 2 coins that are held up, and I separate them, and I put this gaff coin into my pocket to get out a lighter. Now, what I used to do would be I'd show my hand empty, and I'd go into my pocket, and I'd take out the lighter, and I'd have somebody examine the lighter while I took the coins in this hand. But I was left with the gaff, and even though I could do the trick, the gaff was still in my hand, so I wanted to get rid of the gaff. So this is actually an idea of my gallows, where I'd show my hand empty, I'd go into my pocket, nothing there. Now, after I do this, they see nothing's in your hand, so I'm going in my pocket, nothing's there. I'm just taking these coins, so there's a reason for me to now put the other hand into the pocket, pull out the lighter, and by the time I finish with the 3 stupid jokes, they've forgotten I went into my pocket. I usually do this over somebody's hand, so I light this up, do that, and all I do is I let go of the bottom coin, it just falls down. Now your hands are empty, and you've made a really great separation. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Yeah, did you have a question up front? Yeah.
When you're displaying the double coin, you're using the one grip. Should you mirror that with your other hand, or you just have it open?
I don't think so. I don't think that people are staring at your finger position because it's really just for a second. So I know what you're saying. You're saying, you know, when you come over and I do this, should I mirror it? But I think people aren't looking at that. They're looking at the coins, and they're not looking at the way your fingers are. So I don't think you have to. I mean, you can if you want to, you know. I guess well, I got to get used to that. But I guess you could. But I've never had anybody say anything to me. And this just looks like a really nice position, and I don't think anybody's going to really care, which, you know, your hands don't have to be exactly the same. When you do things, normally your hands aren't always the same. So, and then when I hand this out, these go back into a finger clip, into a finger palm, and then I clip them like that as I put this in there. Any other questions? Cool. So listen, you guys want to see some more?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So I noticed that coins actually have a fundamental flaw, that the edges are really hard, but the centers are very soft. In fact, you can actually put your thumb right through the center of that coin. And that really is my thumb. That's not an illusion. But I can take that off my thumb, and there's absolutely no hole in that coin. And of course, that's not quite the thunderous applause I was expecting. But hey, I can tell you're a discerning audience. And I know that out there, thumbware, there's Thumb1 who's wondering if I'll do that trick again. Maybe even Thumb of you. But, you know, as a rule of thumb, you shouldn't do a trick twice. That would break one of the fundamental rules of magic. But hey, I don't always follow the rules. That would be an incorrect assumption. No, I'm a rebel with a thumb. And as I told them when I did this trick in Portugal, back in Lisbon, sometimes you just got to break the rules. So I'm going to do this trick again, invoking a move that I saw in a great karate movie called Thumbs of Thunder. And it looks like this. Ha! And that's my thumb really going through the coin. Now, someone once asked me if I enjoy doing that, and I do have thumb fun with it, especially when I do this in the thumber. But the coolest thing is that when I take that off my thumb, there's absolutely no hole in that coin, and the thumb is intact. Photo op. Thank you. Now, in thumbery, that's 2 times I've made my thumb go through the coin and 2 times I've taken it out. But thumbing tells me you're not satisfied. Thumbing tells me you still want to see this. Thumb more time. Thumbing tells me you want the money shot. Of course, if I do it again, this money will be shot to hell. But hey, if it gets me 2 thumbs up from you guys, I'm going to do it again. And I'll do it in slow motion. So I'll put my finger on the coin. 1, 2, 3. And sure enough, my thumb goes right through that coin. And without any fumbling, I'm going to take that off the finger. And hopefully 2 thumbs up from you. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for watching. Thank you. Thank you. So, a lot of people do finger through the coin and do it quickly. You know, I'm a little different. I am a rebel. So I thought it would be really cool to put my thumb through the coin. And I thought that the magic was too fleeting. So if I did it one time, people weren't, you know, paying that much attention. But if I did it again and again, it made it funny. Now, you know, you guys know my sense of humor. I have these bad puns, right? So I started to use the thumb patter, and it's silly. But, you know, it gets a reaction, and the more I do it, the funnier it is. So you don't have to do it with the thumb patter, but hey, it's thumb fun, I'll tell you. So let's talk about it. So you need a coin with a hole in it and another coin. And the hole's got to be big enough that your thumb can go right through that. So you show the coin, you talk about a soft spot in the center, the edge is kind of hard, and you put your thumb into the coin when they're looking over here. And I hold this like this, and I just take my thumb and I ram it like this, right through. Okay? Now, you got to be careful not to hit the coin as you're coming through. So I hold it really by the edge, and I aim for over here. So I do this. Then I put this coin against my fingers. Okay? So, boom, against the fingers, and I come over like this. Now I'm going to do a coin and card move, a Paul Harris coin steal, using the second and third fingers, but I'm going to use it obviously without the card. So I'm going to grab this coin with the second finger on top and the third finger on the bottom and clip it like that and then come away. Now to hide that, as I show the thumb like this, I turn my hand over, so now I've got good cover, and I grab the coin and I roll my hand in. So it's this, 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 and this. Okay? So they're seeing this. I'm going like this, and I'm pointing at my finger. Show them the coin. Now I classic palm the coin in my left hand, and I come with my thumb underneath and behind the coin, and the first finger on top and the other fingers. And I close this gap right here so they can't see underneath. Under the cover, I pull this off my thumb, and I drop it to the base of the fingers. So this is what's happening. Okay? But under the cover, you can't see it. I now grab my thumb, turn my hand over so I got the coin in Ramsey subtlety, and pull that off. So my hand looks very, very empty. And then, of course, I'd make the jokes. Now we're starting to get into the thumb jokes. And then I say I'd do it again. I put my thumb in here as I show this, and I just, okay, my thumb's in there, and I just come straight down, dropping this coin to the base of the fingers as I come over like this, and then I could show the coins in there. So that's a really nice move. There's the coin, boom, and it's right in there. Okay? Make some more jokes. I now have this coin in finger palm. I grab this coin with the thumb, left thumb, first and second finger right between them, and I pull that off. So I, like this, I pull that off, and I extend the fingers and let the other coin drop onto the finger. So it looks like the same coin. So it looks like boom, boom, okay? From the side, boom, drop the other one. Now I take that coin and I put it into spellbound position over this clipped coin. So the coin ends up going here. Okay, can everyone see that? So I drop that onto my hand, turn my hand over, which gives me cover, and I put this coin right over it, making sure that they don't clink, and I come over like this. Now I've got a really good position. Of course, you do this. Nice photo op, and your hands look very, very empty. So I say I'm going to do this one more time. Now they see the hand is empty. Put my thumb on here, turn my hand over, and now I block my thumb, but you're really like this. I push my hand down. So it looks like the coin, the finger's gone through the coin when it's really on the side. Boom. Now what I do is I put my thumb through that hole, and I come out, and I drop this coin to my fingertips, like that. And I come away and show that one more time. So from the front, okay, boom, just on the side, okay, put my thumb through the coin as I'm coming out and dropping that to my left fingertips, my left finger palm. Show this. My hand goes here as I show this hand, and I just grab this with the thumb against the fingers. Now I take this coin and I do this. Okay, so you can see both coins there, but when I'm doing it, I'm holding it up like this. And I rotate this a little bit, so it loosens it up a little bit, and then I pull off, and I show the coin. As I rotate this, I just take this one out, put this into thumb palm, and I use a really nice move of Jeffrey Lotta's, where I show the coin here, drop the left, second, third, and fourth fingers down. I go with my thumb and my first finger to take this coin, but the thumb palm coin gets dropped onto the fingers, and I take this away, and now my hands look very, very empty. Are there any questions on that? Great, thank you. Okay, so let's see. We're going to try something else. Can I have somebody sit over here? Anybody? Okay, let me just empty my pockets here so I don't have to worry about all that stuff. Okay. I've been doing a lot of magic, and we've been going for a long time. I'm going to try a card trick, but I'm not going to do the magic. I chose you because I want you to be the magician tonight, okay?
Okay.
You in for it? Do you do any card magic?
A little bit.
Okay, well, that's good, because this is going to be your big opportunity, because we're in front of the Penguin Live audience. You're going to do an amazing card trick for us, okay?
All right.
I'm just going to be like the MC, kind of. All right, but, you know, every magician needs a beautiful assistant. I think that's important. Now, I could have chosen a beautiful woman from the audience, but I got someone special in mind from you. It's a celebrity. You know Lindsay Lohan? Yeah, well, I couldn't get her. Although apparently everybody else in Hollywood did. No, the celebrity I'm thinking about comes from the other side of the pond. And I think you'll like her. She's jolly, she's sexy, and she lives right here in my pocket. She's the kind of woman that will always give you a penny for your thoughts because she's engraved on a copper penny. Here she is all the way from Great Britain. It's the Queen of England. Hey! And talk about sexy, just look at those curves. But I got to be honest, life on a coin has taken its toll on her. It has. Over the years she's been used. She's felt spent. She's been out of circulation for a long time, but most recently she's gone through a lot of change. And now she's back and ready to work, and best of all, she works for free. But, you know, she's a little worn, a little dinged up, a few scratches, and we got to make her look good for the show, right? Mm-hmm. So let's give her some makeup. Now, in the old days, you used to just have to be able to brush it on, but now you can stick her. That's right. So we're going to put a little bit of makeup on her so you can't see those scratches or pretty much anything else either. Now, we need to give her a name. So I have a marker here. So what I want you to do is I want you to put a name on the sticker, but not a long name because it won't fit. So a short name, a nickname, or you could even use a design so it could be like the artist formerly known as Queen. Do that. So just put something on there for me. Okay, that's perfect. Let's take a look at that. This is very artistic. Have you ever signed money before? Because that's a signed Monet right there. I actually once drew a picture of a river on a coin. I used watercolor. But that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Ty, it says. T-Y. Let me show everybody that. Now, do you happen to know how old she is? Well, you see, unfortunately, most coins have, and like her, she has her birth date tattooed on her backside. So let's take a look. She was born in 1967. Well, that explains the tattoo. She's a product of the 60s. But that makes her, let's see, that makes her a cougar. Cougar on the prowl. Hey, you know, if you marry her, you could be the king. It's good to be the king. But no, I'm sure she wants it to be business, right? All monkey business. Well, we're going to use her to help us out in case the trick doesn't work, okay? So we're going to do the card trick. Great. Close that up, put it on the side. Okay. Now, I don't do cards, but you're going to do this. You're going to say stop when I riffle the cards.
Stop.
Okay. Take this card out. Don't show it to me, but show it to everybody else. I'm not looking at the monitors. Okay?
Okay.
You place it right on top right there. Great. Now we're going to lose your card on the deck. Now, I don't really care where it is because I don't do card magic and I'm not going to find your card. You're going to find the card. Okay? I don't know if you were paying attention, but I'm going to go through the cards. I just want you to say stop anywhere.
Stop.
Right there?
Yeah.
And that's going to be your card, which is the 6 of spades.
Oh,
No?
what do you mean? No.
That's not. All right, maybe it was the one next to it. Maybe you missed by one. Is it the 2 of diamonds?
Nope.
Maybe the other side? 6 of diamonds?
Nope.
No? Oh, wait. It's all right. It's all right. This happens. Let's just do this again. Okay, we're going to go through the cards. Say stop anywhere you like.
Stop.
Okay. Was it 10 of spades?
Nope.
Oh, wait. You know, this trick doesn't work sometimes when you know, the cards, if your card was like on top of the deck, that wouldn't work. Is it the 6 of clubs?
No.
No. Was it the 8 of diamonds?
Nope.
5 of diamonds?
Nope.
All right. You don't know where the card is. It's obvious, but it's okay. Don't worry. It's all right, because I knew this might happen, and I've enlisted the help of the assistant, who will, as I said, she's got your back. She'll find the card for us. So I'm just going to take her and toss her into the deck, and she goes right inside. And would you believe that there she is right next to your card? Wait, I don't see her. Oh, God, that's strange. She's totally gone. Well, all right. I'm not sure what happened, but let's take a look for your card. Is it one of these?
No.
No. Okay. Let's see if it's one of these over here. That's really strange. First the assistant vanished, and now we can't seem to find your card. No. All right. Let's try this. Is it there?
Not yet.
No. No. Okay. Not too many cards left. Is it one of these two?
Nope.
No. Well, actually, I did this on purpose. You know, I made you believe that we couldn't find the card, and now we got down to the one card I knew it was going to be that card. So your card is the Queen of Spades. Wait, let me try it this way. Queen of Spades. No, that's not your card. Well, that's really strange because first the assistant vanished, now the card vanished. Wait, I know what happened. I got it. Was your card a male card, a female card, or a number card?
Male card.
Well, that explains it. Told you the assistant was a cougar on the prowl, and she's really kind of loose change, if you know what I mean. and you know, she probably met your card, and they went somewhere to be alone. Well, where could they go? It's a big studio. Wait a minute. The card box. There's something inside. Inside is a card. and there's a coin. Is that tie?
That is.
And look who she's with, the Jack of Hearts. Thank you. So this is a fun trick that I've also been doing for a long time, and I had to change the pattern a little bit because one of my British friends told me that what I used to say was a little insulting to the Queen, and you can't insult the Queen, you just can't. So I changed it, made it a little prettier. It's got 2 coins and 2 cards, and the idea is that it doesn't matter if the card isn't signed. If one thing is signed, that's okay. So 1 coin is in the deck, the other coin is over there, and we have 2 Jack of Hearts. Now this isn't a full deck because it makes it easier to do the trick. So 1 card is on top of the deck, the other Jack of the Hearts is upside down like this. And the cards go in with the upside down card on top here. And I stick that into the deck. Okay? Now, this deck it's a little trick to it. See, what I did was I cut a slit in the bicycle just like this. Can everyone see that? There's a slit right there. And that helps me to get the coin in. So we have the stickers and 1 English penny in the pocket. The other one I take out. We make all the jokes. I reach inside to take out the make-out, and that's when I get the other English penny. I put the make-up on, put that away, take out this, and as I'm opening that up, I look to see what side of the coin is facing outward. I want the penny side to face outward when I do this so that I can get the tail side on my fingertips. So that's good. If it's the other way, then I reverse it. Okay? So I take this off, you sign it, I put this away, and again I make jokes. I turn this over, look at the date, and then I just do a shuttle pass, but it's a fingertip shuttle pass. It's not like a shuttle pass like the Roth shuttle pass. You could use any shuttle pass you want, but this is a very, very nice way of doing a shuttle pass. This is the move. And it looks very, very, very natural. So what you're doing is you have this coin at your fingertips, and you put your thumb on it, and you turn your hand over. This hand goes up, and I go like this, put my thumb over there, that's the English penny, and I come away and I just put this down. So it's the shuttle pass, but done at the fingertips. I call it the fingertip shuttle pass. That's also from the Encyclopedia of Coin Sleights from over 30 years ago. But if you want to do the Roth shuttle pass from finger palm, that's fine. This one just puts the shuttle pass to the fingertips, and it just looks, very normal. So I just put that on the side. We really don't care about that. And I pick up the deck of cards and I squeeze here, which opens up the hole a little bit, and I turn my hand over under the deck, and I just push, and it goes right in. Open this up, and I grab the top coin, the top card, which is the duplicate Jack, and I pull out the rest, just like this. I let that Jack fall to the bottom, and I close it up, and I just leave that on the side, turning it down a little bit so the coin will go in. Okay, now I force the card, and you guys know a lot better forces than I do, and I control it to the top of the deck. Now I try and make a little messy area here. So I turn this over, turn this over, turn this over. And the reason is because I'm going to get a coin to go in there in a sec, and you'll see what I mean. Now, I can't really do card magic as well as the card guys, so when I'm spraying them out, I get a break, and I just do a double lift with a break. So that's the Jack and a second card. And as I put that down so they don't separate, I turn this one over and I put it on top. Then I put this one on top, so now I have a little bit of mess, and nobody really knows that the Jack of Hearts is over there. So now I have to make the coin vanish. So I used a really nice move, and all of a sudden the name escapes me, but you can do any type of vanish you want. I pretend to take this and toss it in there, but I actually take the coin, I put my first finger underneath, and I take the coin, push it in there, and I come over and drop it over. This hand looks suspicious, and then I go like this. So it's a really nice move. This is my own variation.
It's a spider vanish, isn't it?
Thank you, spider vanish. So it's amazing how certain times, it's a senior moment. Okay, take that, toss it in there, the other hand goes like this, and the coin is gone. But I've got it over there. I spread the cards out from right to left. Not there. I lift these cards over, this drops to the fingertips, and I put that over, and I show these cards. Your card's not there, and now I drop that over here. Now, if I didn't have the mat and I had a table, you might hear a clink of the coin against the table. So against the cards, there's really no noise, and that's why it's a little messy. Same thing, we just get to the end. Okay, to the end. One card left. No, not yours. Where'd they go? Take the box and I shake it, and that's just to make sure that the coin gets in there, because sometimes it's still stuck in the thing. You don't want it to fall out. Open this up. I take the card out, but I don't show it yet. I put my finger on this area so it doesn't come out through that. Shake that out. Turn it over. It's yours. And, of course, look who she's with. So I'm actually got a signed coin and a selected card to go into the box, and you don't really have to sign both. One's enough. And that's a really nice way of getting both in there. It really looks like a miracle. Thank you. Thanks so much. Okay. Oh, boy. Let's get this stuff away. All right, let's see what we're going to do next. What are we going to do next? Excuse me. So, years ago, for those who have seen my old videos and DVDs, I used to have an opening act. They were the Mrpl2 brothers, a famous acrobatic team, and they were great guys, but soon they somersaulted to fame and I lost track of them. But I recently found them on Facebook, and these are the nicest guys. They'll bend over backwards for you, these guys. In fact, they're funny, too. They told me a joke about two gymnasts who walked into a parallel bar. But anyway, they were so nice, they agreed to come down to Penguin Studios and perform for us. So I'd like to introduce to you, after many, many years, the world-famous, death-defying feats of the Mrpl2 brothers. We have Franco, we have Mario, we have Guido, the three brothers who today are going to perform for you. We'll start with Franco. Franco, you ready? He's ready. On the count of three, Franco, up to the shoulders, across the shoulders, and down, arriving at the other end of the stage. A big hand for Franco. Let's hear it. In Italy, they have a word for that. They say, that's a one. Now it's time for Mario. Mario, you ready? He's ready. On the count of three, Mario, up to the shoulders, across the shoulders, and down. Arriving at the other end of the stage, Guido leads the cheers for Franco and Mario. Let's give them a big hand. It's amazing, these guys. These guys they still got it after all these years. Now, the last one, Guido. You ready, Guido? He's ready. On the count of three, Guido, up to the shoulders, across the shoulders. Wait, Guido, that's the wrong way. Guido, my God. Man, I thought you guys practiced this. Oh, boy. All right, let's clean them up. Let's try this one more time. Guido, you ready? He's ready. On the count of three, up to the shoulders, across the shoulders, and down. Arriving at the other end of the stage, yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Mrpl2 brothers. Thank you. All right. So I have four favorite coins across that I do. The first one I taught in the show, that's my showpiece, the Impossible 4 coin trick. I have one that I do with just 3 coins called Tallahassee jumping coins. I taught that in the first Penguin lecture. And I have a retrofly, which is a 3-fly type effect, which I do for bigger stage. And this one I reserve for fun audiences. You know when you're going to get a good reaction from people. This is the one I do. So it uses 4 coins, and one of the coins goes into your mouth before you start. So it's got to go between the gum and the teeth. And you could talk with that in your mouth, and nobody really will notice. I know it's kind of gross, but you get used to it. But in an ideal situation, you would put this in your mouth before you come out and do the trick. And you can actually do another trick before you go ahead so that they forget, they don't notice the coin in your mouth. I've had this in since 8 o'clock this morning. No, not really. Although it's hard to brush your teeth that way, I'll tell you. No, okay, so it looks like a 3-coin effect, and your hands are really clean. The first move is really a nice, easy, basic move. You show the coins, Franco, Mario, and Guido. Franco is in finger palm. And after I put them there, I toss them back, but keep the one in finger palm. Okay, so Franco, Mario, Guido, finger palm. They're going to perform for you, Ramsey subtlety. Take the first 2 coins, go up to the shoulders, across the shoulders, and down. And they arrive at the other end of the stage. A big hand for Franco. Again, we're building this up. Now, I'm going to use a move that I borrowed from Tallahassee jumping coins. I had to get the coin back into the other hand. And I wanted to do this in a way that I didn't have to use the table. So if I put them on the table, I could do a click pass, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do everything in the hands. So what I do is this move. This is really kind of cool. I take these coins, I spread them out, and as I close my hand, I classic palm the top coin, toss up in the hand. As it's going around, I open this hand like this, and I let this coin drop like that as I go like this. So the illusion is that I got the coin. Up the shoulders, across the shoulders, and down, arriving at the other end of the stage. So it looks like I got it. Now, I got to get the other coin in there, because at this point you expect me to open the hand up. So I go, Guido leads the charge, leads the applause, and I push one of them up here. Guido leads the charge, and I use the tap load for Franco and Mario, and I dropped the other coin in there. So we did the tap load already. As I turn my hand over, that coin that's in finger palm drops onto the other coin, and I tap it. Okay? So it's a really nice way of getting the coin in there after the fact. Guido leads the applause for Franco and Mario. Let's give them a big hand. So there's really no discrepancy there. So I get it in after the fact. The illusion is that it's there, so now the people relax, and I make the coin go in there. Okay. Now, I got to get the one out of my mouth. So I put this into like position for JW grip. So I got a clip between the first and second fingers. Up the shoulders, across the shoulders, wait, that's the wrong way. I point here, make the coin come out, and I grab it with the coin in JW grip, and I transfer it to this hand. This coin goes back into finger palm. I now pretend to take this coin, and I go into that Mrpl2 holding position, and I let that coin drop. Oh, something very, very important I didn't mention. These coins go into a clip position like that. And there's a reason for it, because I'm going to drop this coin into the hand, and I don't want the coins to clink. So when I point up here, and I pull this out, I've got these coins now in this hand, and I take it like this. I'm going to pretend to take this coin with that hand. This is in Mrpl2 position, but I drop that into the base of the hand. And this way it doesn't clink against the other coin. So I just go like this, boom, and I just wipe this on my hand. So now I got 3 coins in there, and I have this one. So now I'm loaded for the last coin going across, and I've got the extra coin, which nobody suspects, and I do up to the shoulders, across shoulders, and down, and this goes now into purse palm, and we're going to use that purse palm subtlety. I show the 3 coins here, grab them, roll it over, so now I've got really clean 3-coin display, and I made the coin go across. Any questions? Thank you. All right. So let's see. I'm going to sit down for a minute. When you get old like me, you get a little tired after a little while. But I actually once performed for people who really had trouble seeing, so I had to use something special. So I have in my pocket, where's that purse? Oh, wait, here it is. Okay. Some coins, 4 coins, not so small. 1, 2, 3, 4 $half. Okay, I'm going to place them over the center of the table, and this hand goes underneath, and with a little push, one of those coins goes right to the table and into the hand below. So that leaves 3 $half, 1, 2, 3 $half, and 1 here. This one goes under, these go over, just like that. The second coin goes right through the table. Well, that leaves 2 coins over here. They haven't done much. And these 2 coins that have already gone through. So these go under. This goes over. Just like that. The third coin goes right through the table. That leaves 1 last coin, which just rolls and rolls. Think that's easy to do? It's not. But 1 last coin, we're going to take that coin. These 3 go right underneath. And once again, 1, 2, 3, boom. They all go right through the table. Thank you. So this is a fun trick. Obviously, it's not for every situation. It's something that I did years ago, and they bring it out every once in a while because it's funny. You know, it's one of those things you have to have the right audience for it. So these are 4 3-inch coins, and the moves are really interesting. So the first time you stack them up, you stack the first coin on the right, 3rd, and 4th fingers, and then you stack the other ones above it. So you actually have 3 in a line, and this one down here. And you do this at the edge of the table. You pretend to take the coins. They go into your hand. The bottom one, okay, is left over there, and as you turn your hand over, it drops to your lap. Of course, you better have your legs put together, or it'll drop to the floor. This goes underneath. This moves to the center, and under the table, you do what you standardly do. You put your hand under over here, and you reach over and grab the coin under the table. So my hand goes under here, but at the elbow, I bend it, boom, and the first coin goes through. Then you go 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, and you slap here. But as you come up, okay, these coins go up, and this one that's over here goes into the lap. You come over, pick this one up, boom. Second one goes across, and you put these over here at this corner. You take these coins, and you slide so that the bottom coin stays underneath your fingers. So you're like this, and this one's like that. Okay, so from the side it looks like this. I now have to bring this hand back to get these coins because this is uncomfortable. So this hand comes back, and I get good cover, and this coin, which is just riding under the hand, it's just riding like that, so that falls to the table as you grab these. Boom. Okay, and you slide these like this. You can do the roll or not. Okay, I think it's funnier when you drop the coin. Now what you're going to do is this. The coin is sitting on 3 fingers, not on the first finger, and this is the move. So it's like a slidini move. It's going to come over like this and pick those up. Come over like this and pick those up. This hand just goes along for the ride. This hand pretends to take the coin. like that. And you make it look like you have the coin. So here, boom, pick these up, and these go under, and the last coin goes right through. Thank you. Are there any questions on that one? Because that's kind of a weird routine. Anybody? Wow, you guys are a good audience. Okay. Let me set up for this next one. This is an interesting trick that I'm going to do. Okay. I'm not going to use the chair. But this is a trick. You know how most magicians will do an entire trick? I'm only going to do 3/4 of a trick. Okay? But to do this, I need to borrow 3/4. So does anybody have any quarters here? 2. 2 is great. Okay, bring them up, bring them up. Thank you. Anybody else? Anyone else have a quarter? You got one. There we go. All right. Thank you so much. This is great. 3/4. And the reason I got 3/4 is because a lot of times I could find something in one of the quarters. Now, during the day, sometimes people get angry and upset, or you're driving on the road and someone cuts you off and you get a moment of anger. And bad emotions can actually transfer themselves to inanimate objects. And it actually, I think it transferred itself to this one. These look okay. Now, you guys can't see it, I can tell, but I'm going to draw a description of what I see on that coin so that you guys can see what I see. Let's see. All right. So this is what I drew. It's a sad face. That's what you were feeling, one of you guys. But, we can fix this. I can make this coin feel better. And I can make it feel better because I just have to give it a little tickle. And the coin starts to smile. Actually, it'll make it feel even better. So I'll give it another little tickle. And I get a really nice smile. And so whoever was unhappy, that's one coin that we made really, really happy. Thank you. Now, the other coins, let's see. We did something on something, so let me do something to something. Now, this coin is actually a state coin, and state coins are kind of weak. And I could actually, they're so weak, I can do this. Yeah, I can bend that coin, and that coin is totally bent. Problem with those state coins. I hate to give this one back because, it's ruined. This coin's all bent out of shape, and I don't want you to be bent out of shape, so I'm going to repair it. Now, you know how when you're a kid and you got a scratch, your mother puts a Band-Aid on it, makes you feel better? Well, being a coin magician, coins are like my babies, and when coins get all bent out of shape, I got to use something too. So I have something for the coins. I have Band-Aids. You use Band-Aids, I use Band-Aids. So let me get the Band-Aid out. Okay. We'll repair this coin. Don't worry, I got you back. There we go. Just place the Band-Aid on it just like this. Flatten it out, and that should work. Give it about a minute, and that coin should be just fine. So thank you. Thank you. So we have one more coin left. Now, I did something on a coin. I did something to a coin, but the third time I'm going to do something with a coin. But I'm going to extend this a little bit. Does anybody have a dollar bill? It was hard enough to pull up the quarters. I hope someone has a dollar. Great. Why don't you bring that dollar bill right up here? And that's great. You hold on to it for a second, because what I want you to do is sign your name on that coin, on the face of the bill.
Face.
Anywhere you like, just so that we know it's your bill. Okay, Andy, that's great. So we just show everybody that. So Andy wrote Andy on there, okay? Now we're going to roll this up. Really small. I'm going to show you a nice little illusion. Okay, rolling this up. This reminds me about the time when I was rolling in dough. I actually did this in a movie once. It was a small roll, though. Okay, but, don't worry if anything happens to this bill. I'm a doctor. You'll get my bill in the morning. And I'm rolling, rolling, rolling on the river. There we go. You signed it. I rolled it. This is like a joint effort. Of course, in Colorado, everything's a joint effort. But we're going to use this along with that quarter to do a nice illusion. I'm going to take this and I'm going to place it on the quarter in such a way that I can get it to perfect. The Leaning Tower of Pisa, everybody! I know, it's not a big illusion. It would be better if I could actually take this bill and push it right through that quarter. And that's really going through there. That's not an illusion. Now, this is the bill that you signed. But I know that you may think it's actually two separate bills. So, wait a minute. I'm going to actually make a mark, an arrow, okay, so that you can see that this is actually your bill. It's going through there. Can everyone see that? Going right through. Can you see that? Okay, let's do it again. Pull it out. Okay, and there's no hole in that. Okay. And in the bill, if you take a look, does that say Andy?
That does.
Okay, you can take back your bill. You guys can take back your quarters. I'll take back my marker. And we've had a nice little interlude for just 3/4 of a trick. Thank you. Okay. So let's leave him here for 1 second, because I can teach this. Thank you. All right. So this all started out because I love to do the cigarette through the quarter, but I don't use a cigarette, I use a bill. And it worked out great for a long time, except now they have the state quarters. And nobody makes the gimmick with state quarters. And so I was concerned that looking at something close up, and you put the cigarette or bill through the coin, if I switched it back for their coin, they'd realize it wasn't the state quarter, or they'd look at it and they'd see it was the state quarter that they had. Well, that wasn't good. So I actually came up with the idea of combining 3 tricks and borrowing 3/4. The nice thing about this is that with 3/4, nobody knows which coin you're using, so nobody's going to know that you're not using their coin. So it's really, really nice. It's like, when you borrow the 3 rings for the linking finger rings, it's the same concept. You have 3 different quarters. It doesn't matter what they give you, because you're all set. Now, you're going to use several props and several things that really help you to manage this trick. And this is really cool because this helps you for pocket management, so you can do a few tricks in a row and not get burnt. I have these 2 things here. These are coin holders. Really cheap things. Cards glued together at the center with some Scotch tape, and they hold coins. I also have a marker. Let's pull out everything. And I got a Band-Aid holder, which is really kind of cool. We'll talk about that too. And we're going to need another Band-Aid. So, and you know what we'll use, if I have it here, another bent coin, so it'll be easier, so we won't have to use the other bent coin. Okay, so this is the way we do it. So I take the bent coin and I stick it in there, just like this, so it's easy for me to get in my pocket. And I put it in my pocket. You can use this for any coins if you have several coins. This one is going to contain the coin through the cigarette through the coin gimmick, and it's going to contain a duplicate of this coin, not their coin, this coin. So I happen to have one here, and I stick that in there too, and that goes in my pocket. Okay? The marker goes into the right pocket. The Band-Aid and the gimmick, this is just a regular quarter, state quarter with a Band-Aid around it, goes in the Band-Aid holder. I got this on Amazon. It's a cheaply made thing. You can use a plastic business card holder. It's the same thing. I just took a Band-Aid box and I used the computer to put Band-Aid, and then I just taped it on, so it's a big joke. That goes in my pocket. And now we're using a double-faced coin. By the way, even though I'm using a double-faced coin, and that's for accuracy for me, you can do this with a regular quarter, and I'll explain why in a sec. I have 2 coins here. So this is a coin with a smile already printed on it, a really big smile, and that goes into classic palm with the smile perpendicular to the bottom of my hand. This, and we're going to just make believe that that's not there, the sad frown, is going to go onto my finger palm, and I'm just going to hold it like that. So this is how I start. This is my starting position. Now I borrow 3/4. So let's see. We'll just use this one and these 2. So I get 3/4. Now as I pick up the quarters, I hold them in my right hand, which has the other 2 coins palmed, and as I put them down, I let this finger palm coin drop to my hands, and I drop 2 of the quarters, and I keep one retained in my fingers. So you can see which one is mine, the one that has the frown on it. And I talk about how emotions really are not transmissible. Emotions are transmissible to inanimate objects. And I put this on the table. I say, that's the one that I can see, and you need to draw a picture on it. Now I've got the regular quarter that they gave me here, and I dump it in my right pocket as I take out the marker. And I draw the sad face on it. Now, all I do is, as I do like a spellbound move, my thumb turns that coin around, so now it's smiling. Now, reason you can use a regular quarter for this, you don't have to use a double face quarter, although you can go to a magic store and buy one, but you can do this with an ungimmick quarter because when they see this coin, they're looking at the design, not the face. So they won't even notice if you have it heads and tails and you go like this, they won't notice. As I said, I have the double face coins, and I use that because I think it's more accurate, but you can get away with using it, and I've done it, with a non-gimmick coin. So you can do this with non-gimmick coins. Then I drop this coin to my finger like this, and I use that same move that we've used before. This goes into a thumb palm position, and I extend the fingers and put that over here. So it's like a spellbound move, but I show the smiley face, boom, and it looks like the smile just got that much bigger. Okay, so from the side, here, boom, comes over. Okay, and I give this back to one of the people. I now take the marker and put that away, dumping this coin, because I don't need it anymore, in the right pocket, and now I've got the bent coin in that holder, right? So I just take that out as they come out, so I don't have to look for it in my pocket. I think it's a great idea. And now I pick up, it doesn't matter what they gave me, a regular quarter or a bent quarter. I try and leave a regular quarter, the old type, on the table if I have. Here I happen to have two, but if I had a state quarter, I take the state quarter. And I just do a quick switch. I've got the thumb palm coin there. I put this into thumb palm. I've got the finger palm coin here bent. I put this into finger palm, and I take the other coin, and I just come out like this so that it looks like I'm just holding the coin by the edges. But I've done a switch of one coin for another, okay? So this goes into thumb palm. I take this coin and I drop that to the fingers as I hold it like this. And then I pretend to bend it, and now it's bent. So you don't have to do the whole thing with initialing the coin or all that. You're just taking a coin, a random coin that they took. You did something to something, on something, now you're doing something to something, and you bend it. And now you really feel bad that it's all bent out of shape. So now you go into your pants pocket where you dump the quarter that they gave you, and you take out the Band-Aid thing. So this gets a big laugh, Band-Aid. You open it up. Inside I've got the regular coin that has a Band-Aid around it and a Band-Aid. So I just pull these out, open the Band-Aid up, and you know, whatever size you're comfortable with you use, take this stuff off, and I just wrap this on right between, okay, just wrap it on. Now I just do the little shuttle pass, turn this hand over, putting my thumb on that, come over here, pretend to take it, and just push against the table. And it straightens out because you've done a switch. And I give this to the person, tell them to wait a minute, and it should be fine. So you've introduced a prop, making it more enjoyable. Now, I take this and I put it into my pocket, getting rid of that coin as well. And I take all this paper, crumple it up, and I go into my pocket, taking out the gaff. Okay? And I just pull the gaff out. The last coin is here. And I say, we're going to do something with the coin, but we need a bill. And as we get the bill, I'm just going to casually do a shuttle pass again, switching it for the gaff coin, which comes out like this. And I just put that down. Okay? So he's got the bill. And I actually go into my pocket, dump the regular coin, and take out the marker. And he writes the name on it. I now take the marker and put it into my left pocket. So it went from the right pocket to the left pocket, and that's so I can get out the duplicate of this coin. So this way, at the end, they're left with a duplicate. This is the one that they're staring at most because there's a bill going through the coin, and I want to make sure that at the end the coins match. Because if I give them back a state quarter and they see a regular quarter here, they're going to be suspicious now because now they're really watching. So I take this and I put all the heat on the bill, and that tries to take the heat off the coin because most of the time the heat's just on the coin. So I make them sign it, which makes this more personal. I make, of course, the stupid jokes. And we roll it up really tight. It's got to be rolled up tight. And I know where the gaff is and how that little flap opens up. For those of you who don't know, there's a flap here. You can see that. This was the Presto cigarette through the quarter. Great, great magician. Great design. Johnson now makes these, and they do a great job on it. And I take this and I stick it in there, but I have my thumb over the coin so that they can't see. And I stick it in just a little bit, and I go like this. The Leaning Tower of Pisa. Not a very, very good illusion. And at this point, I just push it through further. So the coin starts to go through, and you can see the flap opening up. But I keep my second finger over the flap, and I push down over here. So you can't see anything other than the bill going through the coin. That looks really good. Okay? And I keep emphasizing it's the same bill, because I'm trying to make them think that the bill could be gaffed. So I push it through a little bit more, and now I say, I'm going to prove to you, and I go into my pocket, grabbing the marker and also grabbing out of this the regular coin. So I take that out, take the marker, make this, leave that on the table. This is in finger palm. Push it through a little bit more so you can see that it's going through. Now what I do is I pop that into a clip position here, and I come over to my other hand and I stick this into tank high pinch. So from here, it's clipped. I come over like this so it's under my hand. And under my hand I just clip it like that. And I pull this out, rubbing right there. So now this coin looks good. I now just basically put my hand on the table, turn my hand over, and push that over to the side, and keep that in finger palm. Okay? So just try to get rid of it. I don't try to do anything fancy. So we're from here, drop that onto the table, push it to the side. I've got that in finger palm. Now as I open this bill, I slide the gaff under there, and I just kind of roll it along. So I could show him this, and I hand him his bill back. I hand him his regular coin back, and I take the marker with the gaff, and I put it in my pocket, and I've done a nice bit of magic for 3 people with 3 different coins, so it's like almost like a complete routine with 3 different tricks put together. Are there any questions about that? Thank you. Thank you. Well, I only have a few more tricks left. Are you guys willing to see a few more?
Sure. Yeah.
Wow, you guys are good. So the other night I went out to dinner with some friends and the local judge here, and we had a great time. My friend Joel McDonald had some parm. Mary had a little lamb, and the judge tried the veal, and he liked it. My wife had double lobster tail, but she didn't share. I thought that was just too shellfish. And yeah, I said it. And I had, I was looking at the specials, and I saw that they only had the steak or the salad. So I said to the waitress, is there anything else? And she said, if I don't like it, I can steak it or leaf it. So I ordered the salad, and they gave me the salad, and it didn't have dressing. It only had oil and water. And I thought that oil and water just don't mix. And I thought that, I could demonstrate that using coins. You like that segue? So I have in here a purse, and let's see if I can get these out. So I have, let's see, 6 coins, 3 are copper, and 3 are silver. But let's not think of them as copper, silver. Let's think of them as oil and water. So the copper is oil, silver is water. Oil, water, oil, water. And they don't mix unless I shake them, and then the oil rises right to the top. Just like that. Well, let me do that again for you. Let me mix them up really well. So let's see. You mix them up like this. So they're really mixed up. Now, I don't know if you can see that, so I'm going to do it again for you. Just spread them out so you can see that they're really mixed up. Okay? Now, all I have to do is just give them a little shake just like this, and the oil rises right to the top, leaving the water. But, people accuse me of doing sleight of hand when I show this, so I'm going to try something else. Oil, water, oil, water, oil, water. Okay, so they're really mixed up. But I'm going to actually keep them in the purse and shake them just like this. But of course, if you shake them too much, the oil doesn't rise to the top. They actually mix up so well that they fuse. And they really do fuse. They fuse completely, and they will stay like this unless I could do something with something I have in my pocket. I have in my pocket, you guys know it as the miniature flamethrower. This is actually Consumer Reports Pick of the Week for a very efficient flamethrower. And I just use a little bit of heat, and that loosens the bonds, just like this. And sure enough, I get oil, water, oil, water, oil, water. And if I take them, and I just give them a little shake, the oil comes right to the top, leaving the water. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so oil and water done with coins. It's been done before. I actually had 3 versions. The first version I put on the New York Coin Magic Seminar DVD. Mike Gallo had one on that as well. I put another one, a different version, on the European Coin Magic Seminar DVD. There have been a few others out. I really don't know who came up with the idea first. I can't imagine that I did. I'm sure other people have thought of it, and there's so much material out there, it's hard to really know who did it first. But this is my version. I think it's very, very unique. And the ones I did before didn't have a great ending. The ending was that the silver coins vanished and went back into the person. It didn't make sense, and I like tricks to make sense. And one of the things that I like to do is revisit my tricks and see if I can make them better. I like to eliminate the flaws, eliminate the weak parts, make them as strong as I can. And sometimes, you only get to a certain point, and that's what your ability is, and then you look at something a few years later, and you've learned something else, and you could actually go back and improve a trick. And that's what I did with this. So I improved it, and it became a really, really good trick. So you're using the 6 coins, and you're using a fused piece that has 3 silver and 3 copper coins fused in alternating fashion. So they go in your purse, along with the coins. And I just see where they can separate, because I see where the 3 copper are and the others. And this lighter is in your pocket as well, in your right pocket. So I come out with that, open this up, and I separate it where I see that the copper coins meet the other gaff coins, and I just pull out the set. And there are a lot of coins there, so if you're fumbling in your purse, it's okay. You're trying to get them all out. It's not a problem. And now the moves are really not difficult. So I go oil and water. Now, as I take the second one, I turn these over. Oil, and I put it on top of that, and then I turn them over again. Water, oil, water. Did everyone see that? So I'll do it one more time. Oil, water. As I put this in here, my hand's covered, but I just flip these over and put it on top of the copper coin. Then as I come over like this, I flip my hands over again and toss that onto the silver coin. Flip them over again, put that onto the copper coin, flip them over, put it onto the silver. Then I give them a little shake, and now the oil comes right to the top. So that's a really surprise, because people aren't expecting that, and you just do that really fast. Then I put the coins together, and I like to make sure they're all in the same, heads are all face up. It doesn't really matter for the silver coins, but be consistent. I put them together, copper on the bottom, then silver, then copper, then silver, then copper, then silver. And I spread them out on my hand like this. Okay? And I take what looks like all the coins to stack them up, but I really leave these 2, the first 2, the copper and the silver, on my right fingers, and I just take them from this point and scoop them up. So the coins look like a stack, but I'm really got these 2 here. And then push this silver coin back and put the copper coin on top of that and just go like this. So they can't see I really added it. I still have the silver coin here. Now as I go to take that copper coin off, I add this silver coin to the bottom. Copper. Now the next coin is copper and there's a silver coin there, so I do a double lift, like in cards. I take 2 as 1. So I slide off 2, okay, and I drop the copper, and then I put the silver on the bottom as I take this one and slide off. Okay, does everyone see that? I'm going to do it one more time just so everybody can really get an idea. How's it look on the camera? Because that's important. Can you guys see that? So I slide them like this. Okay. I start from here, so it looks like instead of taking them from here, I'm taking them from here, and I'm folding my hand over, and I'm turning these over. So I've got a stack here, but I've got 2 here. I push the silver coin back and put the copper coin on the stack as I do this and come away. Now that's here. Now this coin goes to the bottom of the stack as I take the copper coin away. And now I do a double lift taking 2 coins, if everyone can see that, 2 coins, and I drop the copper coin, and there's the silver coin, and I put that at the bottom of the stack as I take the silver coin and put it down there. So I've separated them again. Now I put copper, silver, copper, silver, copper, silver, open the purse, just pretend to place these in the purse, but I just kind of hold them back in my hand. So I go like this, go like that, but I really never let go. Go like this and come away, putting them at the finger palm as I shake here. So they hear noise, but I shake it really hard, and these are in finger palm, and if you have to fix them with your thumb, you can. As I open this up, I drop the stack out. That's a surprise. I take the stack, toss it up in the air so they can see. You could have somebody examine this if you want to, because they're soldered together. Great work by Roy Coopers to solder them for me. And I hold them in this hand. And I say, okay, there's only one way to get them apart. And I use the angle palm switch again. These go right into angle palm. It's a great move. You guys should learn it. And I take the stack, the other stack, of loose coins, and I hold it here. So I'm switching this for this, just like that, okay? This goes into the pocket where I dump the stack, pick up the lighter, do that, and just grab it. So it sounds like they broke, and then I go copper, silver, turn them over, copper, turn them back over, silver, turn them back over, copper, silver. Take the stack, but the trick is already done. So I say, oh, you don't really have to shake them so hard, just do a little bit like this, and then the coin, now you're very, very clean, rises right, the oil rises to the top, leaving me the silver. And that's the trick. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I'm not sure, but I think I only have one more. You guys ready for one more? Yeah. All right. I didn't ask you before. You guys like this suit? Yeah. Yeah, thanks. You know, my mom got it for me. Thanks, Mom. No, actually, I like this suit, but the problem was it had a lot of holes in it. It did, and there was a problem because I'd have coins, like I got 4 coins here, and every time I put them into the pocket, I'd lose one of them through the hole. So I went to the teller and I asked him to fix it for me. Not only did he fix it for me, he took one of the holes out and he gave it to me, and he said, do what you want with it. And I never had a hole before. So I just was looking at it, wondering what I could do with it. And while I was thinking, I took one of the coins and I just squeezed it and dropped it into the hole. And that coin actually went into the hole. Not through the hole, not under the hole, but actually into the hole. And all of a sudden I thought, what a great way to carry my coins. So if I can put the first coin in there, I could probably do it with the second, with the third, and with the fourth coin. Now I made this coin really small, and I just dumped it right into the hole. And that coin actually went into the hole. And I took the second coin, just like the first, I gave it a squeeze. And when I went like this, I pushed it right into the hole. And that coin went into the hole. Not through the hole, not under the hole, but actually into the hole. Now, I didn't know what the hole capacity was, but I thought if it could work with those, I could take this coin, crumble it, and drop it in, and sure enough, it went right inside. But now I had a problem. You see, I had a hole which had all the coins in it, and I couldn't put this in my pocket, because if I did, I'd be left with a hole in my pocket. So I thought the next best thing would be to take it and give it a squeeze, causing it to change in size and shape, becoming a little purse. And inside the purse, that's right, I had the 4 coins. Thank you. So it's a nice trick because it reviews some of the stuff that we've done, and that's why I saved it for last. So this trick uses some interesting principles, so let's go over it. It uses what they call the Tananasaka purse with 4 coins in it, and it's small and it's round. It almost looks like a hole. The black hole is a plastic black hole, and it's like from this Tenyo trick from years ago, but you can cut a black hole out. And it uses some coins. Yep, some of them are here. Some of them are here. Okay, so this is just an interesting idea. I used to do this with a box, and the box was on a thing clipped to my jacket, and that was kind of cumbersome. I did this in my Knockout Coin Magic DVD years ago, so I used the purse as much more refined, and I keep that in my left pocket. So this is in my pants pocket, my right pants pocket, to start. So I talk about the coins, so I spread them out, and I use that move that we learned already from Harvey Rosenthal, where I show the coins and I place them into the other hand, and that's to go into my pocket. So I turn these coins over, and then one drops into the classic palm. I drop the other 3 to my fingertips and just drop 3 in. It looks like I'm dropping 4 in. I go into my pocket where I leave that coin, and I take out the hole, and I put it right over here. Okay? And I say, do what you want with it. And then I take the first coin, and there are only 3 in my hand, but they think there are 4, and I hold it at my fingertips. As I pretend to take it, I just put it on my second finger like we've done before. So I go like this, squeeze it, and drop it in. Okay, it's just really sitting there. Okay, from here, I go to here. So it looks like I took the coin and dropped it in. Okay, there's the first coin. But it's actually the second coin. So now I say if I could do it with the first, I could do it with the second, with the third, and with the 4th coin. And I use the ROPS move. 1, 2. And as I come down here, I turn. And as I turn, this coin, which is in semi-back palm, as I come down, okay, semi-back palm comes to the edge of my mat, squeeze, drop it in, come over here, boom, and it goes into there. My hands are empty. I take the second coin and I do a retention pass. Now, I haven't taught a retention pass in this lecture. I did it in the first one. So I'm going to do this briefly for you. You guys can use any vanish you want, but I like the retention pass. It's a 5-step action. I pick it up with my fingertips and I come over here. That's 1. 2 is I close my hand so you can't see it. 3 is kind of like the ROPS move. I lever this coin over and I extend the second finger. 4 is I bring that second finger into the hand as I lift the thumb. So it's the same position as the ROPS move. And 5, I come out tilting my hand down so you can't see the coin. So it looks just like that. It's a very, very nice move. And there are a lot of different retention vanishes. You could use anything. So just like this. And as I come down, that goes into semi-back palm to the edge of the table. Turn my body so I can mat it. Okay, so if you come down a little so the camera can come down, camera can come down. So from here down, mat at this point, so it's going under. Make the coin vanish. Boom, right under there. Pick this up, do that. Now use the spider grip vanish, which I think is actually Walter Gibson's, if I'm not mistaken. It was credited to Mrpl2, but I think it was actually Walter Gibson's is what they figured out. I take this and I make believe I'm taking it, but I put my second finger underneath it and I push it into classic palm. Come around, squeeze, go like this. It's in classic palm. Go like that, so my hands look very empty. Drop it to my fingertips. I now pretend to take the hole, pick up the hole, but I actually put the coin on top, and I go like this, holding it against my second finger so it won't come out. Holding against my third finger, I'm sorry. So I'm like this. And I say, I can't put it back in my pocket because I'd have a hole in my pocket. I turn my body sideways, and I mimic with my left hand what I'm doing with my right hand. So I come over like this and put this into my pocket where I drop the coin, okay? So from here, the hand goes in. I pick up out of the other pocket the purse, and I hold it like that. So boom, boom. Come over like this, and I do a spellbound move, just putting it there. Open that up, taking the coins out, and hiding the hole, and that's the trick. Are there any questions on that? Well, thank you. So we've done a lot of coin magic tonight. We have, and we did some difficult things, but they're practical, they're not crazy. And I think that if you take the time to study the moves and put them together, work out. If you don't like the jokes, you can use your own presentations. I will give you one bonus before I stop. I mentioned this in the beginning. My rap song is made for me, but I'm going to change the first paragraph for you guys. So instead of saying I'm a rapper with arthritis, my knees are nearly shot, I put on 20 pounds and now my body's gone to pot. My friends, they call me Ruby, my clients, Dr. R. You'll find me doing magic at the home or in the bar. Here's what I wrote for you. I'm a rapper in the morning, I'm a rapper in the night. And when I rap my presents, I wrap them really tight. My friends, they call me Magic. They say I'll be a star, but for now I do my magic at the home or in the bar where I'll be funning with the homeboys, etc. So there's a rap for you guys. And if you're under 21 and you don't go to a bar, well, you can say, my friends, they call me Magic. They'll say I'll be a star. For now I do my magic when I'm at the ice cream bar. I mean, I don't know. You can change it for what you want, but there's a rap song that you could use. Just put it onto mine, and you got yourself a great trick. So listen, thanks for coming. Hope you enjoyed the magic, and keep practicing. Any questions, get in touch with us through Penguin, and keep carrying on, keep carrying and doing that coin magic. Thanks so much. Have a great night.
Big round of applause.
Thank you.
For Michael Rubenstein.
Thank you.
Fantastic work. Michael, come on over here. Join me here. Did you want to bring your water with you? Just to make sure you have that, because we're going to talk a little bit, and I'm sure after, let's see, what has it been, 30 hours, I think?
I think so. Going for a marathon.
No, it was great. Absolutely fantastic work. And like you said, some of it's a little bit more challenging, but there were also a couple of things in there that are super, super easy to do. I like the wishing well thing. Somebody could pick that up right away and do it, and then get used to handling 4 coins without making noise, which is a nice technique to acquire.
Thank you.
Now, I noticed that you do the moves equally well, whether you do them right-handed or left-handed. So you don't even seem to favor one hand or another when you're doing coin work. Are you naturally ambidextrous, or did this take a lot of effort?
No, I was doing coin magic, and I remember at some point I felt that if I want to be really good, I got to be able to do everything with both hands. So I started to practice the moves equally with the left hand and the right hand. Now that's not to say that to this day I can do every single thing the same with both hands, but a lot of the stuff, classic palming, it started with classic palming because that's like the best concealment. It really is. And I know there are a lot of people that don't classic palm, they're scared of it, but if you get a good classic palm, it's like having, as David Roth says, a sixth finger. I mean, it's just an extra way of holding a coin. It's amazing. And I really practice hard with my left hand and my right hand, and just the different moves, because a lot of times magicians work one way, they work left to right. Mm-hmm. You got to be able to do right to left. And so you try to move the shuttle pass one way, then you do the shuttle pass the other way. You just keep working at it, and it becomes soon second nature.
Yeah, it's something that I I have to work on. I think everybody that works with coins or really any manipulating of objects should do that. Now the way that it is, I'm designing all my routines so that I have to work with a person to that side. Now, you started in magic at a young age or were introduced to it, but it didn't really stick with you. Your aunt bought you a couple of tricks at Macy's.
When I was like 9 years old,
Yeah.
she bought me like the linking rings and the Svengali deck. I'll tell you a funny story.
Yeah.
So I got up in front of my 4th grade class. It was a talent show. And I got the Svengali deck. And I go, look, I want to show you all the cards are different. And they were all aces of spades. I go, wait a minute. I turned the deck around. See, they're all different. And they were all aces of spades. I couldn't get the damn So that was kind of like it for a while. That was my career in magic. And then when I was 15, I went out on a tour with a bunch of kids my age. And somebody, showed me how to vanish a coin.
Yeah.
And I learned incorrectly. I learned using the angle palm. It was that, complete coin vanish, because he did it in thumb palm. And he was so impressed by what I did, he told me I should buy the Bobo book, and I should get it from Al Flosso in New York. So as soon as I got home, I begged my mom for the money, took the $20, went down to Al Flosso's magic shop, and there were actually 3 magic shops in New York at the time. Tannen's, which was the big one, and everybody would get together on Saturdays. Al Flosso's magic store was just a few blocks away, and it was this dirty, disgusting place, but it was fun. It was like what you'd see in those old movies at the curiosity shops, stuff all over the place, totally disheveled. He was disheveled. Yeah. But when I went in, I said I wanted to buy the Bobo book. He spent the whole afternoon showing me tricks from Bobo, and I was hooked. I mean, that was it. That's how I got involved with coin magic. I had that. It was my Bible.
Well, that's the thing. Flosso loved coin magic too, so I'm sure he really enjoyed somebody else that was hooked by it.
And he also enjoyed me spending $20 at his shop.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Now, what do you know? What it was that really attracted you to coin magic? Just what compelled you to spend so much time with it?
I guess what I think is for most people is you get positive reinforcement. So when I first did the first trick, and the guy said, "Wow, that's amazing." That was reinforcement. Wow, I can do something that he says nobody else can do. Yeah. And then I started, doing stuff, and I went through the whole book. Now, I can't say that I could do everything from the book, but I went through the book, and this is just great stuff. And so I started developing my own stuff, and a lot with angle palming. And I remember I was a freshman in college, and I probably had a bigger ego than I should have had. And I go to Tannen's magic store, and some guy says, so, what do you know about coin magic? And I just said, like, everything. I mean, the worst thing that you could say.
Yeah, yeah.
And the guy says, so show me something. So I'm going to show him one of my original effects, and it's not working. I can't do it. And so he's a very nice guy named Bob Elliott, who later became my friend. Sure. He says, listen, why don't you come here on Saturday? And there's a guy here, a kid that you should watch. His name is David Roth. So I said, okay. So I went with my tail between my legs, went home, went back that Saturday, and saw David, and he was standing in a corner, and he had a whole bunch of people around him. He was only a few years older than me now, so still very, very young. And I watched him, and I said, boy, my stuff looks like crap compared to his. and so I started to develop my more retention techniques. And later on, Bob and I became good friends, and I told him that story. He thought it was great, because I didn't mention it. I went back there on the Saturday, and before I saw David, I was at the counter, and he was talking to another coin magician named Lou Lancaster. And he says to Lou Lancaster, so there was this kid that came in on Wednesday, said he knew everything about coins. And then he looks at me, and he goes, and there he is. And he walked away. He was about to trash me, and I felt like this big. So I came from having a big ego to having my ego busted, to watching David. Now, most people would have changed to card magic at that point. But, but I said, I got to get better.
You were inspired to
exactly.
to improve the techniques that you were working on, which I think is great. And then of course, years later, you and David worked together. Now, did you spend any time, with a little session with him when you were younger, like that?
So, at that time, we didn't know each other. But once I got a little better, I remember going to this place that the New York magicians hung out with on Saturday afternoon, and there at a table, talk about intimidation, was David Roth, Jeffrey Lotter, Richard Kaufman, and they're all there, and I sit down with them.
Was that Rubens Deli? Is that?
Yeah, I think that was the place.
Rubens, yeah, I think that's
they had a few places, but I think that's what it was. And I did some magic, and David was impressed, so he invited me to come down to his house for a session. And he never lets me forget this. I came down, and I had like a little bowl of rugelach. And I went and we sat at his table, and he just sat there and watched me. He didn't do anything. But I did my magic. But that's kind of how we became friends.
Yeah.
And I guess, we talk on the phone from then on. And there was a period where I was not doing magic for a little while, but we still were in communication. And then we got really close because David had a fire in his apartment and lost everything. And he needed a place to stay. I had a big apartment, it was just for my son and I, so I invited him to stay. And he stayed at my house for 3 months. While his apartment was being fixed up. And it's really kind of funny because we never did coin magic. We talked and we talked about magic. We never did anything for each other, but we just hung out together. And he told me that he had an opportunity to go live with somebody in the city, which is where he worked. But he said, but he loved my cats, so he just couldn't leave. So we just became really good friends, and that's how it all started.
Yeah, very cool. Now, you, as I think you mentioned it here, but for anybody that doesn't know, you're a doctor of veterinary medicine.
Yes.
You know, is this normal? He's kind of unresponsive. If you could maybe help me. He doesn't seem to.
You know, actually, he came in for a knee replacement.
Yeah.
But we had to make his owner fill out a joint return. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got
it never stops, does it?
No, there was one penguin that came in and he actually ate a diamond, and we had to get it out. But I screwed up the joke. Never mind.
you want to do it again?
There was a dog. A dog comes into the office and he ate a diamond. And I said, "Don't worry, you got a diamond in the rough."
Ah, yeah. All right.
I actually do a little surgery. I wrote a book on abdominal surgery. It's the inside story. Okay, I better stop.
Oh, yeah, all right. Okay. All right, yeah. Well, but when you were studying to become a veterinarian, did you begin your studies in New York and then go over to Europe?
You know, I did undergrad here in the States, and I was going to be a wildlife biologist. And I just kind of realized in my senior year that I didn't want to live in the burbs and go into a swamp and count ducks. I just didn't want to do that. And I didn't even try for vet school here in the States, but my mother, who always wanted me to be a vet, you know, when I was about to graduate, she said, "Listen, there's this program in Italy, and you can go to Italy and become a veterinarian if you want." And I had just been rejected from my alma mater for going to grad school because they'd really told me at the last minute, they told me they wanted people from other schools. So I didn't really have a future, so I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And my mother could have said, "You can go to Italy and be a garbage collector." I would have gone. But she said, "Be a vet." So I went, and, you know, the rest is history. You know, I studied there. I got involved with the Italian Magic Organization, which was great.
Yeah, now, before you went over there, you were performing some street magic at Rockefeller Center, right? And that was to make a little extra money for
Right,
for
and that's
school.
really where I got my performing abilities because, you know, I wasn't a full-time professional like a lot of guys, and so I wasn't going around. But when I performed in the streets of New York, you got some difficult crowds there. Right. And I actually wrote a book on inside street magic, which was at the time a primer for people who were just starting out. There are several other really good books that have come out since then, but that was the book at the time, published by myself, but sold by Jeff Busby. And it went really well. And yeah, so I worked in street magic there and in the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
And then that's what I was going to say. And then you went over to study in Italy and continued to do street magic, but at the Leaning Tower of Pisa. A lot of tourists come there of all different languages. Did you speak any other language at that time? How did you relate the magic to that?
I did it in English.
Okay.
And if I knew that I had a crowd that was all Italian, living in Italy, I spoke fluent Italian.
Yeah. Okay.
So if I knew that the crowd was mostly Italian, I would do that. But a lot of tourists are from over German, French, and so I just do it in English.
English, right.
And people would just watch because it was very visual.
Yeah.
So it didn't really matter what I was saying. And, you know, I didn't do the show where you'd stop and then you go around and collect the hat. I left the hat down there, and I just kept doing the show. So it was like a repetitive show. Every 20 minutes would be a new show. But I would just keep going, so
right,
people
so
could
you
just come in
didn't
any
bother
time.
with building the
right.
ads
So if they
or-
put the money in, that's fine. And you know, in Italy they were very liberal about letting me perform there. In the States, the cops kept moving me. You know, you'll learn when you have to move.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Now, one of the high points of your career was after you had established yourself in Italy and through competitions over there. You won a major competition.
Yeah,
with-
Bologna 1983 was the off-year FISM. Basically, they didn't call it FISM, but it was the big European convention, and all the FISM judges were there.
Yeah.
So I decided to compete, and I was very lucky. I won first prize, and I met a lot of great contacts. The next year, I won at San Lausanne, which was the San Vincent. Took place in Lausanne. So it was like the convention which was between France, Italy, and Switzerland, and I won first place there. But you know, through those conventions, I got the opportunity to go to Japan with Shigeo Takagi and Shigeo Furugawa, and I got through Jean-Yves Proust. I got to do a big, which was great for me, a big lecture tour in my last year of vet school. I actually stopped for a few months to do the tour. 17 cities. It was like for a month. And that's where I went to Germany, and I filmed the Master Coin Technique videos, and it was just wonderful.
Yeah, and then one of the things that happened, which was you know, kind of funny, but probably was a little scary at the time, was that you got booked for the Magic Castle.
Yes.
Right? So tell what actually happened.
I wrote to them and I said I'd like to work the Magic Castle, and they were very, very good about it. But they didn't tell me when I was supposed to work. And I got home from school, I graduated, and then I find out that I was booked like 3 months earlier, and nobody told me. and I think
you were a
Michael Lamar
no-show.
said that
Yeah.
to me. So I wrote to them, I said, listen, you guys, I told you I was coming back in May, and you booked me like in February or April, and you didn't even let me know. I didn't get a letter or anything. So I said, so let's try this again. So they booked me again, and it was great.
Yeah.
So it was like 1985. I did my week, and I got to spend every single day with Di Vernon.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He came to all of your shows.
Every
didn't he?
single one, and he loved watching it. He didn't give me any critique or anything like that. He just wanted me to show him stuff, and he loved doing the moves.
Yeah.
He wrote me a really nice thing, and I still have
That's
that.
probably the highest compliment, is that he didn't give you any critiques, in that he just wanted to watch, right?
Oh, it was wonderful, and for me, it was just like being in heaven to be with the professor.
Yeah, so cool. Now that was the first time you worked the castle. Did you work the castle again?
I did, this past February. I mean, it had been so long, I told people that the last time I was there, the woolly mammoths went to La Brea for those tar baths. That's how long ago it was between them.
Yeah.
But I did the show that I started here with. Sure. I did that show, and it went over really, really well. And I just had a great time. It was so wonderful to be there again. When you're working all these hours as a veterinarian, things get pushed to the side.
Right.
And the time that I always have in vacations, I try to use to do tours to teach, and I'd usually go overseas for that. So this was an opportunity to really do it here in the States.
Yeah, yeah. Now, on one of the tours that you did with David Roth, you were on tour together, and you were in Marseille, and then something happened that a magician only dreams of. So if
That's
you can
right.
tell everybody about the miracle of Marseille.
David calls this the Marseille miracle. And what happened was David, he doesn't do coin magic for people after he performs. He does card magic. So once he's loosened up and everything, he takes out the cards, and he does great stuff because he learned from the best. He learned from Derek Dingle, he learned from Darwin, he learned from Marlowe. They trusted him because he didn't do card magic, so he wasn't like a rival. So he has great stuff. And so there we were in Marseille, and he takes out the cards, and he's doing his card magic. And then some of the other guys are doing stuff, and I felt left out. So just for a goof, I wrote the name of a card on a piece of paper, I folded it up, I put it down, and I just said to somebody, take a deck of cards. They took their own deck, shuffled it up, choose a card, any card you want. They choose it. I say, okay, for the first time, reveal what the card is. As a goof, But they hit the card that I predicted. 1 of 52, right? You have a chance. Sometimes this works. So I had them open up the prediction. It matched. Boom, drop the microphone. That's it. I'm not doing anything else.
No more. Yeah. That's the trick I do. Yeah. Now you also had some frightening incident when you were touring, and where did this happen?
So on one of my tours, I went to Nice, and I look at this. The story I'm going to try and relate to is kind of like, your favorite ball player who gets into a little bit of a slump. Mm-hmm. He's not hitting the ball right. He's not hitting the ball up the middle. He's swinging late. He's swinging out of the zone. Well, that happened to me. I started my tour, and I work really hard as a vet, and then I get to do this magic. So I don't have as much time as everybody else to practice and work out. So I was a little rusty, and the ROPS move probably wasn't at the right speed. I just wasn't doing it right. I was probably doing it too fast. And it didn't look as good as I would have liked to. So I was doing the lecture, and I do the ROPS move, and I'm explaining it. All of a sudden, somebody gets up and goes, I do not like this move. And I went, well, okay, But it didn't stop there. No, I do not like this move, because I couldn't keep going, and it just got into an argument. And then, it was close to the end of the first half, and at the end of the first half, half the guys, he and all of his friends, got up and they just walked out. So it really bothered me. On the other hand, I had to think about what happened there, because that had never happened to me before. So I went back to my hotel room, and I just worked on the move, and I realized my timing was just a little off. So I don't know what it looked like, but I know it probably wasn't perfect.
Sure.
And
you've taught enough people. You've probably seen some really bad handlings of it.
I have.
It's one of those things that you can't do too much attention to it. You ought not to do too much attention to it. It ought to be just kind of like a quick this
exactly. You're just trying to indicate the coin. The whole idea of the move is to save you from taking the coin, which is already in your left hand, putting it to your right, and then going back to your left. It's already here. Just here's the coin. Boom, it's gone. And you got to use it in the right context too, because if you do it, boom, it's gone. Well, they're going to look at your other hand. Yeah. So you got to understand what's going on next. And it's been really a godsend for me. I've been doing it now since 1980. And it really made a reputation for me. I started showing it at the first New York Coin Symposium when all the big guys were there. Gary Kurtz was there, Jay Sankey was there, Bob Kohler was there. We were all kids. We were all, nobody was known at the time. And so we all got together, and we all had the camaraderie. And people kept calling people over saying, hey, look at this. Show them the move, show them the move, show them the move. and that's how I got known. Now, it's interesting because I got known first in Europe before the United States because I didn't tour in America. So I did all the tours in Europe and Japan. So I was really known there first, but then when the videos and stuff came out, I got more known here.
Yeah, for sure. Now, one of those tours, you were going through the Philippines and Japan, and you arrived in Manila, a big camera crew and all that kind of stuff.
So David and I, we go to Manila. We're doing a double tour together of Philippines and Japan, and Randy Raimondo, really great magician, invited us to come to the Philippines. So we get off, and he's got this camera crew there, and they're filming us. So I think I did a spellbound routine. David did his one coin routine where he gets the giant coin, and it was on like national TV. So we travel around a little bit, we do our big lecture in Manila, and we're going back, and of course at a lecture you sell stuff, so I had some money, and I figured I'd get to Japan and I'd finally exchange it all to dollars. So I go through customs, and they stop me and they start frisking me, and they find all this money. And they go, I'm sorry, but you can't take this money back. And I go, what do you mean? They go, well, you're not allowed to take Philippine currency out of the country, so we're going to have to confiscate it. Now, David, he's like looking at me, I said, just keep going. So I'm there pretty much by myself. So I'm thinking I'm going to lose all this money, when all of a sudden one of the guards go, hey, wait, I know you. You're the guy who was on TV doing that magic. I said, yeah. He goes, hey, do something else. Next thing I know, every single guard and security was surrounding me, and I was doing magic trick for him. So all of a sudden now they're my friends, and one of the guys takes me back through customs, back to the front, so I could exchange the money. He was like with me while I did all this, and then he walked me back through customs, and I was able to get the flight.
Yeah,
that was scary.
That's right, but it's so great that magic can do that and just transform people's opinion of you. Had you not been the celebrity,
exactly,
what would have happened? You would have lost all your money.
Magic has gotten me out of a lot of things. Once I was in Italy, and there was right where I used to live, there was a plaza. And all the fascists were going to have a demonstration there. So all the security was around, unarmed policemen, everything. And I'm looking out my window thinking, this is cool, and I'm taking pictures. So all of a sudden, the guard looks up and he goes, hey, you, with the camera, come right down here. And they got all these guns and everything. Mm-hmm. So I go down. And he goes, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm just, taking pictures. He goes, why? And then all of a sudden, my friend who was next door goes and screams out in Italian, show him some tricks. Yeah. So I start doing the tricks, and all of a sudden they're my friends, and they say, well, listen, we got to take your camera. I'm really sorry. But they told me to come get it, and when I came to get it, they didn't even confiscate the film. They said, well, we know that you're just an American student here, so it's okay, you can take it. So I have those pictures.
Yeah.
But thanks to magic.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And now, I just want to mention that, I don't want to keep you any longer. It's been great talking to you, but I hope that the coin guys that are getting into magic now realize that they owe you a debt of gratitude, you and the others that really, were transformative as far as bringing coin magic into the modern age. I think the stuff you've shown us, fantastic, and plenty of stuff for everybody to work on. So I hope they realize that. I do. Thank you so much for being here. Big round of applause for Michael Rubenstein. Fantastic work.
Thanks for having
me. Great
me.
hanging out with you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.